Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. by Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas, presented by Platinum Ford, title sponsor of the SYC Texas. The SYC Texas, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Cool Wick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. By Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management. By TD Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowl Metrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Cityview Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, it's the 2025 SYC Texas. Welcome to the 2025 SYC Texas.
Good morning, Storm Bowling fans. Welcome back. We are here live from Cityview Lanes for the SYC Texas. I am Blair Blumenscheid, and I'm joined by Zach Trevino.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Zach, we're in Texas. We're back in Texas. We're at Cityview. Platinum Ford, presenting sponsor.
Yeah, we have some sweet Platinum Ford SYC trophies.
Very sweet. Event. Yeah, they're trucks.
There's like an F-250 on it.
Which is super cool.
They are pretty awesome.
And yeah, we got some awesome kiddos.
We do. Good group of kids. We got here bright and early. Supportive parents as always. Everything is fired away, and we are off with game one. Short pattern, right?
This is yes. Oh, and I might or might not have the lane patterns. I don't have the lane.
It's 38 feet. I know that. I got some volume in the middle. There's plenty of hook at the gutter. I think if you play them right, scores should be pretty favorable. It's not crazy short, so we don't have the panic of my ball didn't even make it out to my break point kind of thing. I don't think we'll have some of that. So.
Well, and you were part of a very unique seminar yesterday.
No, I talked for hours.
Where?
I confused the heck out of these kids.
Did you get a lot of questions during practice?
No, nobody came and talked to me.
They're like, oh, we heard enough.
Oh, gosh.
Well, anyway, we did have Katie Simpson bowling, and you showed them how to play the lanes, do some surface. It was great.
Yeah, I had talked with CDB the day before about kind of what we wanted to cover, and yeah, preaching surface and really how to attack some of the patterns. And the short pattern is typically what we see some folks struggle with. I would say more often than not, and that's okay. We just get a lot of youth bowlers get accustomed to, especially the no thumbers or the soft speed players. They get accustomed to the ball just floating down the lane pretty easy, where they're bowling on a house shot or something where you got plenty of volume. So when you shorten that pattern a little bit and the ball doesn't quite feed there, you see typically some of the kids struggle. Just they're just not accustomed to bowling on conditions like that. It seems like everybody always wants to get their ball to hook more, right? As a youth bowler, you develop a little bit more, and you always want to hook the ball. But yet, I feel like once the lane surface gives you some of that, it can be a little chaotic. Again, especially with you see the abundance of two-handers.
So I'm currently pulling up. So from our view, we can see mainly lanes 7 and 8, but also 5 and 6 and 9 and 10. So the bowlers that we have Hayden McLaughlin, Caden Acevedo Rosado, Grayson Lassiter, Zachary Cooper, Caden Jewell, and Nolan Randisi. On 7 and 8, we have Cooper Powell, Wesley Eastman, Kaylee Peterson, Stevie Newton, and Lennon Short. And 9 and 10, we have Jade Campbell, Bonnie Cox, Amelia Mahler, Taylor Morgan, Daphne Lahr, and Emily Schmidt. Those are the bowlers we get to see.
Yeah, let's see. A couple different. This is all the same age group? No, we got a little mixed in.
I think it's mostly U15. Their U12 might be to the left, just off camera. You can see them, the little ones down there on 3 and 4. They'll move to 7 and 8, I believe, after, or 9 and 10. I'm not sure. I'm skipping.
Two-handed females. I love to see it.
Yeah.
See more and more of them.
Stevie is a multi-time SYC champion, and the Newton family has been coming to all the SYCs this year. Yep. They've made every single one, which is amazing.
Yeah, I can see why. She throws it well.
Let's see if we have a bio.
A little bit.
Stevie, she's from Hanover, Pennsylvania, bowls at the lanes at Fort Meade, 12 years old. She got 3rd place at Junior Gold this year.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome. She's had an awesome year bowling. She just likes hanging out with her friends, binging TV shows, and listening to music. Wants to say hi to Mom, Dad, Grandpa, and Grandma.
Big shout out early morning to Blair with the player profile.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the info.
Oh, yeah. We got...
Stevie's a regular, though, so that's a good point.
Well, Lennon Short here, she filled out a bio, too. We have...
Another two-hander.
Yeah. Her hometown is Fremont. Bowls at 30 Bowl. She's 11. She won 2 Eagle trophies at this year's Youth Open Championships.
Wow.
She's a multi-Eagle holder.
She has more Eagles than most of us.
No kidding. She likes making friends and shopping. She's a great impressionist. And she's only here because of her sister. That's what she said.
Maybe she's impersonating her sister.
Yeah. She wants to say hello to Tommy Jones. You still can't beat me at NBA Jam, and I have more Eagle trophies than you. She's got some humor.
Got some swag. I like it.
Don't mess with Lennon.
For real. Also, as somebody, a 90s baby, I'm pretty proud that the younger generation is playing NBA Jam.
Right.
I don't see a lot of that anymore.
It's coming back.
From downtown, Lennon.
Now, these bios are optional, so some don't fill out their bios, so I cannot promise that I have bios on everybody, but like Mr. Caden here, no bio on Caden, but he looks like he likes hockey. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually know Caden and his dad. I bowl league with his dad.
Oh, cool.
And Caden's older brother is William Jewell, who's won some SYCs, I do believe.
Yep.
He actually is bowling this year for UTSA, so in San Antonio. He's down there. He's as a freshman, just kind of getting his college bowling journey underway. UTSA program just won their first SWIBC collegiate tournament in the program's history. They've had actually a couple really good runs. They just kind of finished second, third, fourth on seemingly every conference tournament. But they just got their first win, I believe, last weekend. And William was all tournament team.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's congratulations to him. Yeah, I do remember. We don't have the alumni banners up, but I do remember that name. So
Bowl league with his dad, Bill.
that's cool. Yeah, and we do have a lot of first-time bowlers, first-time SYC bowlers at this event, which is exciting. So you'll see, as the day goes on, you'll see some bowlers that maybe, like Stevie here, who's bowled on TV for Junior Gold, and then others who are just getting their feet wet, starting to bowl tournaments. So it's pretty fun to see.
We got a lot of youth bowling down in the South in general. So this being in the backyard for some of these bowlers, getting access here. I think the only other close event we've had recently probably was in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I say close with quotations. So
Yeah.
Texas is a big state, but yeah, the amount of traveling. I was just talking with Rob Gottschall before the stream about the amount of traveling that these families do at Texas to see everybody make the trek and make the flights and plan their whole schedules around it. Really, it's a family affair for sure.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Sure
To
does.
quote Steph Johnson. She used that quote a couple times yesterday regarding bowling and family.
So fun.
We'll have Steph out later today, right?
Yes, she will be here. She'll be joining us on the live stream. We need to tell Nolan to call in the Deadwood on lane 6. Grab Nolan.
Oh, we do.
Or grab someone. Yeah. Yeah. Zach's gonna step out and go help them take care of that. The kids are learning on the lanes. That's what this is about too. Good job, Zach.
Caden looked at me like, "Who are you and why are you talking to me?"
That was exactly the look that you
was-
got.
that
That
was
was
so great.
fantastic.
Well, his dad was right here. He was right out just outside the booth.
Yeah,
And Bill goes, "I'm not going down there to get it." I said, "No, tell the desk."
that's fantastic. So we have Caden Rosado on lane 6. He's from Central Falls. Bowls at Providence Senate Lang's Bowlerama. 12 years old. He loves bowling because he gets the opportunity to meet new friends who share the same passion as him. He's good at the PS5 bowling game and loves basketball. And he wants to say hello to his father and sisters who could not make it this weekend. And then speedy recovery for Grandma, who's admitted into the hospital. So thinking of Grandma. Maybe she's watching.
Speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, another good perk about SYC, right? We get free live stream. We make it
Exactly.
accessible to everybody. And I actually just had a parent earlier asking about the platform and where to watch because family, grandparents were back home, couldn't attend, and they wanted to tune in. So another good little perk. Always love that.
Yeah, we were explaining that to some of the league bowlers here because they're like, where can we watch the tournament this weekend? And we're like, yeah, it's free on Storm. They're like, free?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah. Yeah, and it's just, again, we're just trying to connect with the family and friends at home because, I don't know if you know this, Zach. You travel a bit. It's expensive to travel.
It is it's never getting cheaper.
Right, and so
that's for sure.
yeah, so some of these families have to maybe the mom and dad switch off. One
Totally.
takes them 1 week, and there's so much to bowl, like you mentioned earlier. They can bowl every week if they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, certainly around this area and in Texas as well, but seemingly, there's good events locally and regional youth events as well. You have different various tours. The
Yeah.
San Antonio Youth Bowlers Tour is a big one that we help out with a little bit. and they put on some good events here. And it's not just in San Antonio; they do some other stuff as well. North Texas USBC in general up here is really big in terms of both youth and adult events. So membership's really strong. So yeah, a lot of opportunity, but it is expensive to travel. Like, and especially from a parenting standpoint, sometimes you can't. Yeah, everybody can't step away from either work or commitments, or there's, depending on how many kiddos there are. Sometimes it's not. There are other activities besides bowling. So
it's true.
It can't always make the trip with everybody, but. Yeah.
Your guy Zach here, Zach Cooper. I'm calling him your guy because he wants to say hello to his cat Cheddar.
Oh yes.
Shout out to the cat at home.
The cat's watching.
But also aunt, grandparents, and cousins. But we always have to comment on the animals. Zachary's from Brenham, Texas. Was at Grand Station and College Station.
Yeah, College Station. Yep.
Yeah. He likes, you just mentioned the SATX Youth Bowlers Tour, and he bowls on that tour. And anyway, Cheddar the cat. That's
Flag
a good name
football,
for a cat.
video games,
Yeah.
basketball. Yeah.
Pretty cool. These kids are busy. That's the one thing when you read these bios. I feel like I don't do enough with my life after. like I should be doing something else.
I mean, at this age, right? You were pretty consumed with bowling.
That's true.
Other things,
Yeah,
right?
it's true. Yeah.
What did you? Let's see here. We'll just focus on, I guess, maybe the U15. What were you? What was your extracurricular activity schedule look like?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, good point. It was nuts, but bowling wasn't my number one. I played tennis.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was right around that age is when I really was playing a lot of tennis. So I would still bowl youth leagues and tournaments. Like my Saturday, my poor parents. By the way, parents, you guys get gold stars all the way around, and your kids might not thank you now, but they will. But like Saturdays, for most weeks, it was Saturday morning bowling. If I didn't have a tennis tournament, I was driven straight to a tennis clinic. Then I had either travel league or another tennis practice, and so it was just nonstop Saturday.
Constant,
yeah. I think no one did anything Sunday, so unless there was a tournament, like always. But what were you doing? U15. You got some music. When did you start playing some of your music?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing out and like a part of groups and on stage and stuff probably at, I don't know, 12 or 13, I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the majority of my childhood, it was baseball and bowling. That was really the big, the two big ones. I started playing golf. I played golf in high school, but really that didn't take up a ton of time until about then. And now that's all I want to do with my time. But yeah, it was mainly baseball and bowling when I was younger. We see a lot of youth programs now or youth leagues. Sometimes it's not always Saturdays. We see a lot that take place like after school, middle of the week. And especially from a bowling center standpoint, they can fill that sometimes that slow period where your daytime leagues, your senior leagues just got done. Maybe they get done around 3, and then the kids, you can run your youth league from 4:30 till 6 or so. Whenever you have your night leagues come in, I've seen a couple of youth programs that really do well with that because Saturdays are vying for all kinds of everything else, right? Everything else.
They throw everything on Saturday morning.
Totally.
Yeah, I totally. If you have the ability or your bowling center is willing to have even if it's a bonus youth league that someone can head up and try to get some bowlers that may not be available on Saturday to come out and bowl. I think those are always great. They can be short season too.
Short season, and you can be quicker, right? So it can be a doubles or a trios league where you're in and out of there in an hour and a half.
Right.
It works out well. It's similar to what we see with certain high school programs too, where like a lot of the high school practices and matches are right in that time window as well, during the week after school, not always on the weekends.
So I'm this younger age group is not digging the short pattern game one. I'm looking.
They're not easy.
Yeah, they're not easy. And
well, and just watching some practice and so lane 6 right there, yeah, Caden, that's a good example where the kids with some rev rate have a tough time, and short patterns are difficult. We talked about this yesterday in the clinic. Was see your ball hook more than normal, the natural tendency typically is to move further inside, so left for the righties and right for the lefties. You move further away and try to curve it more. The challenge with the short pattern is that at some point there's only so much oil in that middle part of the lane. So as you move to the inside, and you can try to feed it out to the gutter or feed it out to the right, feed it out to your break point. Depending on speed and which ball you're using, it may never get there. That's why you typically see short patterns. The people with success, the break points are typically farther outside. They're near the gutter. You kind of have to play farther right. But it is hard, especially, again, for the speed challenge bowlers on the short patterns, because so much more of the lane is dry. There's a lot of
the pattern.
A lot of urethane, a lot of polyester, that kind of thing. The reactive balls, if you get anything left of about 10, chances are it's probably going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, and this pattern is significantly flat inside, as you were mentioning a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's where you see it when it gets in. It's gone.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, 38 feet, and then drop brushes at 34. So realistically, the bulk of the volume is to 34 feet. So. But yeah, the key, I think, and it's tough. It's challenging to play out by the gutter. But that's really where you have that zone. You always want to try to find some miss room outside of target and some hold inside of target. And it's tough to do that if you don't play that part of the lane often. It is uncomfortable getting close to zero.
Yeah, and I think, you'll, as you're watching, fans at home, if you're tuning in all day, like, you'll see some balls go in the channel, and that's just part of being on the short pattern. I mean, and these kids, like, they're not afraid to throw it in the gutter. They don't want to. I mean, obviously, but they understand, man, I'm playing pretty close to the gutter. It might go in once. Just focus and get the spare, right?
Yeah. It's a funny note on that. I build a sport league in this center when I'm home. I sub every now and then, and we were bowling on a pattern of similar length, but there was substantially more volume. I think it was 36 or 38 feet. I don't know, but there was quite a bit of volume on the lane, and those are extra tricky because you have to play right. The ball wants to really fly off the end of the pattern, but there's a lot of volume, and so the challenge is that it does bring zero into play even more. I was playing out, and there was a stretch, and I'm not ashamed to say this because it's probably the craziest game I think I've ever bowled in my life. There was a stretch in which I had, I believe it was 4 in a row. I think I started the game with 4 in a row, 4 in a row, 0-0. So double gutted on 4 in a row.
Okay.
And then I threw another double. And then I had another 0-0. And then I believe I had 9 spare and then another 0-0. So there was a stretch where I knocked down, I think it was like something crazy. I think I knocked down like 13 pins in 3 frames. I think. I can't remember exactly how. I could pull up a picture.
What was the total score for this?
I think I only bowled like 170. But I struck like 6 or 7 times.
It's amazing.
I mean, it was incredible. But
yeah, you're
just committed to playing out. Yeah. It's the ultimate risk reward, and it was a comical game. I could try to pull the picture up somewhere. It was pretty crazy.
That's pretty awesome. So we haven't mentioned it yet, but Scores All Day will be posted. They're not live scoring, but they will be posted on bowlmetrics.com. And we can drop that link in the chat for you all so you can follow along. Our friends Zach and Katie are actually going to be, different than Zach. We have 2 Zach and Katies in the building this weekend.
We didn't even plan that.
Yeah, but Zach, who we're talking to, and his fiance, Katie Simpson, they will be going through and keeping track of the live scoring all day. Not live scoring, but semi-live.
Score updates.
They don't have lane talk in here, right? Or do they?
It's our fault. No.
No lane talk. Okay.
Yeah, challenging conditions as we look at the scores here, like on our featured pair. There are quite a few of those dashes.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, as we mentioned, Stevie made the show at Junior Gold. Nolan, he's bowled a few SYCs. He's always up there. Bam Bam's a multi-time champion over there. So no one's really. I mean, you can see some high games from some of these kids, and no one's really doing anything. So this one's going to be tricky for him.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And it's important to first game out of the gate, especially on the short pattern. It's important to try to, keep the emotions in check. You kind of want to just get your footing under you because it's a long way to go, and you got to kind of be able to battle back. And if it's damage control early, and it's a hard thing to do. It's tough, especially for the younger kids, just from an emotional standpoint, to try to kind of wrap your head around everything. All right, we're in this for the long haul, and you can't get super discouraged by the out of 3 or 4 gutters that we threw in the game or whatever it may be. It's tough. I will say the good thing about short patterns is typically they get a little bit easier as they start to transition. It's usually a little bit of hold that starts to get built in as some of the balls go down the lane.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Cityview, does the certain ends of the house play is there any house characteristics that?
I would imagine that the high end, the very, very high end, probably plays a touch tighter.
Okay.
Just the bulk of the league traffic is in kind of the middle part of this house. I would say so. That's usually, that would probably lanes. Maybe 13 or 15 to probably 45 or so. It probably sees the bulk of the league traffic.
Makes sense.
Maybe 50. But yeah, the extreme ends may play a little bit different. From a topography standpoint, it's pretty true across. It mainly just comes down to how the track has gotten beat up, and this surface is still pretty good too.
So Cooper here, he doubled going into the 10th.
Yeah.
Which is great. Cooper's from, I just had him up, right? I think Allen, Texas, I want to say. Allen, Texas, yeah. Bulls at JB's.
Sigh of relief there. That one got out pretty quick. There's some friction at the gutter, though. It came back, still got 9. I think it's going to be a high game on the pair.
For sure, yeah. Cooper's he's a solid bowler. We've seen him in a few SYCs now, and he's just all around. Solid game. Got a Belmo ball there.
That's right. The gold one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. 164 for Cooper Powell. That is high, at least on our featured pair. I would say probably in this little 8-lane stretch. I think that's high game. Stevie's going to bowl 151. Yep.
Shaking her head about it. But this is when, during the seminars, and I'm not sure if it came up yesterday, but usually once a tournament, the reminder to, hey, make sure you're paying attention to the pace of scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because, some kids don't want to watch the scores.
Sure.
But you still need to know, like, hey, I just shot 151, but I'm the high in the 10 lanes I can see of the girls bowling. So knowing that should totally change your outlook on how you're actually bowling.
Yeah. Just because maybe your average is 160 and you bowl 140, if that's a personal disappointment, you might look around and say, oh, well, that's still keeping me right in it, or that's the scoring pace reflects something like that, and it's okay, right?
For sure.
Average is all relative. That expectation. We all want to bowl well. These kids are here to have fun and bowl well, but it is important. And the nice thing in this sense, in this situation, is you can see a lot of your competition, in close proximity. Kind of keep an eye on that. Oh, and the parents know that too. The parents score watch more than anybody.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, but they have to keep their sanity because they're trying to keep their kids sane.
Yeah. They'll run out of fingernails to bite pretty quickly.
Yeah, we had Turbo donated some stress balls to the SYC.
Yes.
And the parents were coming by. They're like, "Can we take these?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Totally. Stress balls and paper bags.
Yeah.
That's what we need to calm everybody down.
We have Nana Starkey in the chat. I'm sure she's cheering on some of the. We have some EYT bowlers, which is the Chicago tournament series that Deandra puts on. They're bowling in front of us. Emily Schmidt being one of them. She's wearing an EYT jersey, but Abby Starkey off to the University of Nebraska. I wonder. I don't know if they're bowling this weekend. They must be bowling somewhere.
Lane 6. Nolan with a double there.
Anyway, shout out to Nana, and Paul is waiting for Zach and Chris Cosby. They're coming this way. They're the high end, so. Because I don't know if we mentioned it, but the kids will move after each game.
Skip pair? Skip one?
I think it's two. I think it's skip 2 pair. Oh, no bowling this weekend. Week off.
The rare collegiate weekend?
I know. They bowl so much.
Yeah.
So, Zach, thanks for joining us. We will probably have you in again, I'm sure, sometime this weekend. And we're going to do some rotating. You're going to go out and collect some scores, I heard.
Okay. That sounds like I was voluntold.
Well, that's what Leanne told me, so. But we're going to be taking a break. We'll finish up this 10th frame here, and then we'll take a short break. Let the kids move lanes.
Yeah, score pace for in the 9th frame down here on the low end, 3 and 4. 5 and 6 is in the 10th frame. 7 and 8's done, and then 9 and 10 lagging behind a little bit. They're in the 8th frame.
Yeah, well, and we are going to have some pairs. There were a lot of bowlers who, and you know, parents have to work, so I get this. But with all the flight issues this week, a lot of people just opted out because they're like, we can't commit and then get stuck in Texas.
Yeah.
So there will be some pairs throughout that have 4 or 5 on a pair. Yeah, so try not to have 4, but sometimes the withdrawals happen.
Sure.
Look on your sheet.
Let's see here. Caden Rosado with a chance to get into the 140s here with a spare on lane 6. Zachary Cooper finished up with 115. A couple decent games on 3 and 4 on pace now. They've still got 10th frame to finish up. Tough miss on 6 by Caden. That hurts that game. Only gets to 132.
Here's Miss Emily. She's from Minnesota. We were chatting with her dad last night. She throws it pretty darn good.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Good game.
Emily Schmidt wrote one bowling achievement that she's really proud of is missing cut at junior gold by 1 pin because it made me realize that every pin counts and I can just work that much more.
Yeah, you can always find 1 or 2 or 5 off 10, 12, depending on how many games across the block. It's so easy to look back and it is. That's a great perspective, like a really good way to look at it because every pin does count.
There's a fun fact. She plays piano, but her dog is the 2nd fastest lab in the country.
That's a heck of a stat.
Yeah. I want to meet the lab. What's the lab's name?
We need the lab on the stream.
Yeah, really. Is the lab here? Did you bring the lab? Probably not. They flew, so.
I don't know, Blair. It sounds like the lab can fly also.
Good point. A good joke there.
It's a youth tournament. We need a couple dad jokes.
I mean, no, my fun fact this week is Mr. Schmidt, Emily's dad, he's actually a pilot for Delta. So we were quizzing him last night on some facts. It was pretty fun. We fly Delta quite a bit just living in Salt Lake, so.
Well, that's a big 3-bagger for Nolan. Nolan can put together a good game here.
Nolan was just, he asked he came over and asked how many pairs we skip, and I don't actually know, which is bad. We need to look at a sheet. But he came over, and then he walked down and was watching the pair he's going to.
Okay. Another good game down on the low end. So here down on lane 3, Aaron's got a chance to get into the 170s. Bam, bam.
I'm telling you, never count Bam Bam out because his first part of the game was looking a little rough, but he pulled it together. 176.
Yeah, I mean, finished from the 7th frame on, right? 9 spare double, 8 spare strike to get to 176. Nolan with another strike. It's a 4-bagger now on lane number 5 here. This is going to end up being our high game on in our section. Ooh, big game down on lane 11. Avery Bourneville 235.
That's huge.
That's really big.
We did have a question in the chat. Paul is asking, is this U12, U15, U18, or did we add the 14 and the 16? So we at the SYC are still doing U12, U15, and U18, just because we don't have a ton of ability to add divisions with the lanes that we have.
Sure.
So we talked to the USBC, and they said that, you know, if you're not running junior gold qualifiers, you can stay with the big divisions.
Yeah.
It makes
sense.
a lot of sense for junior gold to add those divisions,
Totally.
just because there's so many kids.
Yep.
Yeah. But it doesn't quite make sense for some of the smaller tournaments yet. But never say never, right?
That's right. Nolan Radici finished with 186. Bam Bam, let's see here, got to 176 down there.
All right, we're going to take a short break while
Yep.
everyone is switching lanes. Thanks, Zach. And yep, we will be right back. All right, we are back, and I am joined by Stephanie Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
Steph, we're back, SYC Texas. You had some great seminars and a Q&A yesterday. You gave away a Phase 2 Pearl.
I did.
Which is...
I know how those Q&As go.
Yeah.
And they don't ask very many questions, Blair.
No, they
I know
don't.
you've sat through many of them.
It's true, yeah.
So, what better way to incentivize them with the ball that got released yesterday, Phase 2 Pearl. And all of a sudden, we had a line of people wanting to ask me questions.
It was great.
So it worked.
Yeah, got them out of their seats, and it was awesome.
They were quality questions. They weren't allowed to ask just yes or no questions.
Yeah,
so
like
it was good.
Yeah. Now, they could ask you what you like to eat during a block, but they could not ask you what you ate for breakfast. like let's be clear.
Exactly.
All right, we got some new bowlers. This is game number 2. Game number 1, there were not a ton of high scores down here. I'm not sure what the high end did, but the bowlers we are watching, we have Jackson Sullivan, Dominic DiLorenzo, Trevor Mason, Amari Browder, Maddox Denbo, and that was lanes 5 and 6. Lanes 7 and 8, we have Aiden Dennis, Jackson Witchers, Louis Cloud, Logan Dale, and Jonathan Eds. Those are our main pairs that we can see. You can also see to the left and to the right, so we give you a little updates on those bowlers as well.
Yeah. But it's early.
It's
literally and figuratively. It's only game 2.
Yeah.
So I would guess a lot of the kiddos are just trying to get their bearings and sort of figure out lane play.
Well, not Jackson, though. We heard that Jackson shot 240 game 1. We have to wait for Bowl Metrics to populate all the scores, but Jackson's from Amarillo, Texas. It's his first SYC, but he made the telecast in the U12 division at Junior Gold this summer.
That's incredible.
Plays the trumpet, and he wants to say hello to Jacob Buttriff, a.k.a. Butters.
I know Jacob very well. I bowled with him quite a few years in the mixed doubles in Houston, so off to a little bit of a rough start this game, but, it happens. You see it a lot, you especially on the fresh game 1, you kind of capitalize on a pair that maybe isn't really broke down just yet, so your ball is doing everything you think it should be doing.
Yeah.
And essentially a lot of these kids actually came from the higher end, so they made the kind of the flip down here. And centers can just play differently too.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach was saying he bowls here quite a bit, and he said that he would expect the high end to play, I thought he said tighter, but that doesn't make sense to me because that's where most of the league play is. But
interesting.
Yeah, I would think it would hook more up there, but he thought that anyway, so.
He would have probably a better insider information than me. I do not bowl here.
Right.
So I would have no clue. I would literally approach it like I try to every other center. Is just play the lane, what it's telling you to do, things of that nature, which by the time sometimes you figure it out, it's frame 5 and
Yeah.
You're halfway through, So I think the key, and I think a lot of the kids would probably agree they struggle on shorter patterns, controlling their ball motion in the back part of the lane.
Yeah.
As we just saw Jackson take one off the left, if you miss your target in, it's likely going to go that direction. So,
Yeah.
Kiddo on lane 4 just bowled without a 5-pin. I'm not sure if they're aware of that.
Oh, Tyler, you want to snag him?
It looks like they know
They
it.
caught it, yeah. Got all kinds of deadwood down here. Look, I'm watching this. We might actually see some splits being picked up today because there's bouncing going on.
There's pins flying around here.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me when people bowl on a rack that's particularly missing a pin in the back, of course, 5-pin, 8-pin, etc. I always wonder, I'm like, people maybe don't check the rack when they're kind of getting set up, which
Right.
for me, it's just literally part of my routine. for no particular reason other than I just want to make sure I don't have to do my throw over again.
Yeah.
But I would be curious just to ask a couple of the kids, if they even look at the pins, because it looks like to me lane 7 is missing an 8 pin. I don't know from your angle, is it missing an 8
Oh, yeah,
pin?
it does look like that. Is it missing? Oh, yeah, he is missing. I think he caught it.
He caught it?
Good job, Louie. Well,
Good job. I can see it from back here.
Louie was SYC Idaho champion last year. He is a player.
So he's on it.
He is on it. He's like, yeah.
Look, guys, I'm missing a pin. I ain't throwing this over again.
Yeah, and I did have a bio for him. I was looking that up. He is from Las Vegas, bowls at Suncoast.
Okay.
He likes to watch cooking videos.
Interesting.
And then sometimes
do we
makes
want to
him...
be like a chef type? Is that kind of in the future?
He says, this is very funny, he likes to watch cooking videos, and watching them sometimes makes him want to cook for himself. So he's not completely in yet.
He's not fully invested.
Yeah.
But he enjoys other people cooking.
Right. And he wants to say hello to his...
Maybe he would be like a good taste tester.
Totally. That's a good gig.
I mean...
Or like one of those food reviewers, like where you go across and review all the food. Wants to say hello to his best friend TJ, which I believe is TJ Rock. I'm gonna go with that because I think he's from the Vegas area. TJ, of course, bowled
What's
in
up,
Wichita.
TJ?
That's right.
Hope you're watching. I love that they fill out these bios just so
Right.
just get a little bit of a background of what else they like to do. Obviously a lot of them are in middle school / high school, etc. So there's just a lot going on, a lot of options, I should say.
Yeah, and sometimes the U18 boys don't like to fill out their bios. I'm going to call them out, but I get it, right?
They're too cool, Blair.
I know.
There's a point where you just fall off and you're like, you know what? I don't really care what people know about me.
Right.
It's probably better they don't know anything.
Yeah, don't talk about me. Just don't.
Just talk about my bowling and call it a day.
That's awesome. I was going to see if Amari filled out his bio.
He's not far from here. I see him often at a lot of workshops.
Yeah, it looks like Cedar
Texas.
Hill. Is that around here? Okay, so this is an older bio, but he bowls at the ITRC. That's his favorite practice center.
Yeah, I would say if he's in Cedar Hill, Redbird. His coach is actually standing right next to us, sort of in the booth.
Oh, cool. Yeah, a little bit.
And they own that center.
Oh,
so,
sweet. Okay.
That would definitely make sense.
His USA bowling team won third at USA National Championships 1 year. They came in third, which is that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Here's another cooker. He loves to get in the kitchen and cook and play on his VR.
Okay.
Everyone is a chef these days.
I'll happily be a taste tester. But sometimes, you just got to be able to take good criticism, right?
That's right.
Although I'm not sure I would be a good critic because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be tasting.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So Trevor Mason here on 6, he's stepping up. He just moved up into the U15 division this year, but he has 13 SYC titles.
You guys can't see it, but I'm just kind of sitting here shaking my head because that's very impressive.
Yeah, the all-time records for boys, it was Spencer Robarge. He beat that. And Gianna Brandolino currently holds both divisions. She has 15 SYC titles, but they both have aged out.
Right.
Trevor is 13 in the U15, 13 titles in the U15 division. So who knows how many.
The odds are in his favor.
Right.
To absolutely crush that number.
Right. Anna Antony is sitting with 14, which she's
another one.
Yeah, but
That's
she's U18,
incredible.
so still, and you can't see it on video, but there's 2 gold banners, and those are the 2 players that are above 10 SYC titles. We've gotten those questions this week. The digital masking units.
They do stand out.
They do. And they're right in the middle, so everyone's like, why are those 2 highlighted?
And what an amazing backdrop with the digital media screen to be able to have that up there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really cool.
Oh, I have to follow up earlier because I don't know if Nancy Schmidt is still listening, but I just saw this comment. So Emily Schmidt, who's bowling, we were chatting with her dad last night, and such a fun family. But Emily put in her bio that she has the second fastest lab in the country.
Lap?
Lab, dog, lab.
Okay.
Yeah, and we said, like, what's the dog's name? And Mickey is the second fastest lab in the country. And he did not come this weekend. He's home with Grandma. So thanks for watching him, Grandma.
I have so many questions.
I know, me too.
You know, because I'm not in, I do have a dog, but not in the dog racing
Right.
type of
Right.
realm. But wow, there must be like some sort of competition you bring all your dogs to, and then you
they
just race.
Yeah, which is cool.
Kind of like a bowling tournament, right? Like who's
Well,
going to win?
Yeah, I know there's so many different levels of competitions for dogs, only because my dog was going to doggy daycare for a minute because he was
And your dog is
struggling.
amazing.
Thank you. Yes, he is. But they do this like rat sniffing competition, which I know that sounds weird, but they like find the rats, right? So
Okay.
yeah, and so at this doggy daycare he was at, I was, of course, always late to pick up my dog because I work ridiculous hours. But
You know,
Yeah.
just saying.
right, and he would be there Wednesday, and they did this competition on Wednesdays, and his dog trainer would let him do it, and she's like, he's really good at this, and I'm like, I'm not sure how to answer this.
You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of monetary involvement in this?
Yeah, really, like.
A future job for my dog?
Yeah, like, can he get a job? Can he get a job? Because if he would contribute to the household, that'd be great.
You know?
Yeah.
Earn your keep, buddy.
Yeah. So anyway,
those treats are not free.
I do know there's levels of all this stuff, but it's pretty cool. We're gonna have to quiz Emily on her lab, Mickey.
I'm gonna look into that because there's so many things out there.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so I did have a bio for Jackson. I had pulled this up. Let me pull that up.
Do we have any scoring update after game
Yeah,
one?
let me
also?
look at that too. Yeah, Jackson Sullivan though on 6. He's from Princeton, Texas. JB's Allen Bowl is his home center. First SYC. He has picked up the Big Four, and it's one of his favorite bowling accomplishments.
Awesome.
High game is 288, and he also is really good at playing football and soccer and loves to hang out with his friends, Joseph and Jack. And he would like to say hello to no one.
All right. So if you're watching, well,
Jackson doesn't say hello
it
to you.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, JB's, his center,
Yes.
is the sister center to my center, which is Plano Super Bowl.
Nice.
Right down the street, same exact road, maybe 4 miles,
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit north. So pretty cool.
That is cool. All right, let's see what the results are.
Yeah, what do we got cooking?
Well, starting in the U12 boys, Nolan Randisi is leading 186, followed by Bam Bam at 176.
Did you say Bam Bam?
Yes, Aaron Cabness, his nickname is Bam Bam.
Okay. I learned something new today.
Yeah,
said
you can just call him Bam
Is there
Bam.
pebbles?
Maybe. we're searching for pebbles. U12 girls, Stevie Newton. She actually was on our live stream pair last game. She bowled 151 and she's leading.
Okay.
Lennon Short, who said the only reason she's here is because of her sister, is in second.
Well, we're glad you're here for whatever reason. And, if you tend to bowl well, you might want to come back because you want to come back.
She also called out Tommy Jones in the chat, or in the her bio.
Okay.
So she's got some humor. Lennon does.
Interesting.
So Jackson Witcher's here on 7. He is leading U15 boys. Shot 244.
Yes. Okay.
Wesley Kiefer 241, and then Henry Mann is in third at 235. But Abe's right behind him.
Got some high scores there.
Yeah, this one. And Louis here, who we're watching, he was in 5th, plus 19. So, yeah, U15 boys, they woke up striking. They had their Wheaties this morning.
Nice. Well, and, it's game one, which there's a lot more bowling to do.
Yes.
A few more games. Be interesting to see, what the scoring pace ends up being, just in general.
Absolutely. So it looks like U18, they're still getting those scores in. Yeah, there's not very many in there, so we'll give it a few more minutes. I know that the Wi-Fi was
slow and steady.
Wi-Fi was causing a little bit of fits earlier, but you throw a lot of people in one building. Things
Everybody's
happen.
trying to access it, and
Yeah.
technology is one of those things where when it works,
Mm-hmm.
it's the best thing ever, and when it doesn't, it's like the devil.
Yes.
It's like, how did we function without it?
I question that a lot.
We
Yeah.
rely so heavily on it for everything, more things than we ever did.
Yeah. Mr. Henry Manover, I just looked up, and he is on 9 and 10. He has started strike, spare, turkey.
I like that start.
Yeah.
I will take that start any day.
Oh, and looks like maybe they're...
His jersey is about to blast off.
Yeah, there is some air down. You can stay cool down near the ball return.
Yes, some of the pairs have actual blowers,
Yeah.
but it's like every other pair. Looks like we're getting to dead wood on lane 7, trying to reach for it in the back. I'm sure they got a couple mechanics today.
Yeah, I heard there's 4. They stacked it full of mechanics back there, so it's awesome. Thanks to Josh.
They got their 10 or 15 lane spot.
Right. And we, Josh just peeked over. We might have him in later to chat on a live stream. And then, of course, Adam at Platinum Ford, just thanks to him, he donated $7,500 to this tournament.
Adam is amazing.
He is amazing.
He sponsors a lot of our local events with the North Texas USBC, and he's just a good guy.
Right.
That's the added bonus. We got a late trip 4-pin over there for Jackson.
He's liking it.
So nonchalant.
Well, he's annoyed because he missed a spare, but the thing is, minus the U15, although we'll see what the U18 did when they get these scores in, but scores are not super high. So, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Not every person is a score watcher, but score pace is important to watch, right? I mean,
Pace of play is super important. Game 1, it's hard to gauge that. I would say by game 3, you kind of have a better feel. And at that point, you're more than halfway through. There's only 5 games. So I would say it's important to just be aware of what the cut line is, which for them, would be like medaling for third.
Yep.
Whatever. Everybody's goal is probably a little different. But, yeah, I would agree. Me personally, I'm not so much a score watcher as opposed to knowing what the cut line is.
Right.
And then going from there.
Right, yeah.
And if I'm within that, I maybe don't make such bold changes. But if I'm far from that, you have to make some sort of risk.
Right. Yeah, like if
because
you're...
it may pay off, it may not.
Yeah.
But if I'm already not in the cut and I'm not really close, something has to change. And, I think I mentioned it in my Q&A yesterday, I'm just not okay with not trying.
Right.
If it doesn't work out, that's fine, but I can't hang my head after a block and think, well, I should have did this, I should have did that, because then you'll never really know.
Well, and to your point, right, if you and your area or group of bowlers that you're bowling with, you're all in the same part of the lane and you're all struggling, then, but you know, if it's
all doing
if
something
everyone right, if everyone's struggling, great. But if it's just you, then maybe you need to go see what the bowlers that are doing well are doing and make a move or do something different and be the leader in your little group.
Yeah, there's so much information around you. It's just how you use it.
Yeah.
And I think specifically when you're bowling poorly, so to speak, it's important to go check who is bowling well and what are they doing. Now, clearly you may not bowl like them.
Right.
You know, they may be a two-handed lefty and you're a one-handed righty, you know, something along those lines. But generally speaking, I think it's important to, are you in the right part of the lane?
Yeah.
You know, what kind of balls are they throwing that maybe you have that you're not throwing? There's so many variables. We chatted about it yesterday during Carolyn, Zach, and Katie's kind of seminar, and the list is just endless, which makes it so hard to just pinpoint one little thing that can make the difference. Spares for sure, though. I mean, that will never change, right? I mean, Jackson is actually a perfect example of that right in front of us. You know, he started his game with 3 opens that were essentially makeable spares.
Right.
And when you look back on games like that, you really see, wow, that was a lot of pins I gave away.
Totally.
You know, maybe I wasn't focused or just barely missed them, things like that.
Well, and Trevor Mason here, he had an errant spare shot that I don't see him miss spares very often, and he missed, and which happens, right? Like short pattern, whatever, it's early. But then he went up on lane 5 and he got I would call it a bad break because it wasn't super high, but
4-9.
For the 4-9. So you're like, as I'm sure Trevor's in his head going, really?
What's
like,
happening?
Like you're going to do that to me? But
that is the bowling gods, right?
Right.
They show up. They're always lingering.
Oh, yeah, they are.
You miss that 10 pin, that 10 pin will show up again and again until you make it.
Yeah. It's true. They're fun.
It's, but you know, and I also think I mentioned this yesterday during the Q&A, it's literally about your perception and how you approach the situation. Because at the end of the day, the pins really don't know. They're just standing based on how your ball enters the pocket or doesn't. You know, they're not laughing at you, and although I think they are sometimes.
Yeah, me too. So,
like,
for sure.
What's this? The weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Oh,
Sometimes they feel like weebles.
I went through a 2-month span of not being able to get the 7-pin out recently.
Okay.
And it was the most frustrating thing because that's the Weebles wobble thing. That 7-pin, sometimes it would just be standing there. Like all the pins would disappear and the 7-pin's like,
where you go just a smidge high and they all go around it. And you're like, well, that sucks.
Right. But then other times it's like
you kind of
half off the lane.
the bucket, but the 7-pin kind of stands. You're like,
yeah.
Really?
I'm like, what on earth am I doing? Because it wasn't the same every time either. So yeah, it's great.
What am I not doing?
Yeah, right.
Or
right.
What? What is happening?
Ugh, bowling. It's the thing we love.
Well, tough game for Jackson there. He started with the 240 and he followed it with a 139. So
yeah,
you know, he's shaking his head. He's disappointed, as anyone probably would be.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is we read off some high games, but down here there's still, this might just be a low-scoring bay. We might discover, as you mentioned, as we see the bowlers come in.
Yeah.
And then they'll know, oh man, the low end is a little tougher than the high end.
Because we will see all types of caliber players.
100%.
There are a lot of new bowlers here this week. Lots of veterans this week. And, you know, not to sound like a broken record, the short pattern has a lot of people's numbers. Like it is, it's someone's kryptonite. It's a lot of people's kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
They just maybe aren't so sure what their ball is going to do. One shot it hooks, next shot it washes out. You try to make adjustments off those shots. And, you know, I think the key factor in all of it, no matter what pattern, to be honest with you, It's just the bowler taking accountability in the sense of, I really did throw a good shot.
Yes. Yeah.
And it takes a different level of maturity to kind of come to terms with that, because, listen, at the end of the day, if you're going to just genuinely believe that you never throw a bad shot, I mean, good for you. I don't have that level of confidence whatsoever. You probably just won't bowl well, because, it's always going to be some other factor, right? When many times it is often operator error.
For sure. Yeah.
Which isn't to say we're bad bowlers. We're human beings, right? Like, we are not robots in that respect. But accountability, for sure, I think is a big learning curve for many of these kiddos and adults, for that matter.
Well, and you bring up a great point, because we talked about all the variables, right? Like, again, back to Trevor, right? That last shot, he changed balls. It was a great shot, but if Trevor felt like he wasn't throwing the ball great the whole game, it took him that long to make the decision, okay, I threw a good shot. It still wasn't the right ball. So then I changed balls. But you have to know what is going wrong, because you can't, if you're throwing it bad and you make a ball change, it's probably not going to work
Two
either.
wrongs don't always make a right.
Right.
Sometimes it works out, but, oftentimes it doesn't. And we only get 10 frames.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different level of challenge, because by the time you personally commit to the fact of, okay, this ball might have been working down there, it is not doing the thing down here. The next part of that equation is, okay, what ball do I have with me that will give me the shape, the look of what I kind of had maybe on the pair before? And I think that as well is just a different level of challenge, because I would probably guess a lot of kiddos here, even though they have a arsenal of different equipment, they maybe aren't entirely sure of what those balls' capabilities are.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's
and
tough.
that's true for anybody, any person, and Zach hit the nail on the head yesterday when he was discussing bowling balls, that just because a ball is a new release in the sense of it came out on a certain day, it doesn't mean it matches what your game needs or what your arsenal is really lacking. So
yeah, no, I loved that he said that, and I love that he said that to the parents, because I think, we all want the newest, greatest, and that, and then sometimes the marketing can be really cool on certain bowling balls. Like, personally, I really want the Gremlin right now. That ball's just really fun and cool, and I asked Hank if he would draw one up for me, and but some like these, but I'm not bowling sport track conditions, so my bag is built for league now. So it's like, okay, I have an Ion Pro Solid, which I think is a pretty good all-around ball. They got that ball this weekend.
Right.
I love that ball.
Right. I do too.
Yeah.
Actually, I can speak from experience. My last title in August, that's the ball I threw.
Oh yeah, perfect.
I won my 5th title with the Ion Pro Solid.
It's just all around good. Like,
and here's a really funny story, since we have a little bit of time here. Yeah. Only speaking of that week, because we were in Rochester. It was the last series event of the PWBA Tour season. So for those that don't know, we do have a truck that travels week to week, so we're allowed to put balls on the truck. Obviously, we can take balls home to practice, all that. But I showed up to Rochester with one of my bags, because I did travel with one bag, thinking I had 9 balls there, just because. I generally leave 9 balls, take 3, bring 3, so I have 12. And if we drill, obviously, then I'll have a couple more.
Right.
But I showed up, went to the locker room, and, Cecil's great. He usually puts all of our bags together, and I saw a bag, and I was looking around for my other bags. I'm thinking, well, clearly they're somewhere else because they're not right here. No, Stephanie only had 3 balls in the locker room, plus my 3. So I had 6 balls, which one of them was a spare ball. So
Where did your other balls end up? Like,
I brought them home at some point because I had to bowl the Lucy.
oh, okay. So you just lost track
I
of where
just
they
lost track of them. Like 100%.
Yeah. Which it happens, right? Because
just-
if you're used to it being on the truck and then they're not, yeah, okay.
Total brain fart, okay?
Yeah.
I take 100% accountability for that. And so we're at practice session. And I have my 6 balls. I felt like I was bowling league or something, right? But it's kind of like the SYC, so we had multiple patterns because we're bowling a series event.
Yeah.
And our tour rep, Rob Gottschall, I jokingly went over to him, but I was serious. I said, well, I'm not really a big driller, but this week I'm going to be because I have 6 balls here. And he goes, what? I said, don't even ask. I just thought I had more, and I don't. So this is what I got.
And it's a multi.
2 of them were the same, which was funny. So my whole point is, we all make mistakes, but at the end, it was a happy mistake because I ended up drilling another Ion Pro Solid. I drilled an Ember. We drilled a couple balls. I think I drilled 4.
Yeah.
But the whole point of that story is not to really air my laundry that I'm a ding dong in that respect, but
it happens.
That I won that week, and it just didn't start off really well because I was really disappointed in myself.
Right, because it could have gone really bad.
And my practice session was lackluster because I had 4 balls.
Right.
And none of them looked great.
And you probably didn't, I'm assuming, but you didn't drill everything right after practice, right? It was like you drilled some. So you had to trust whatever you were drilling was going to add to what you brought.
Was going to be a good option.
And this story is really important because I think some people think that the pros have endless amount of bowling equipment, right? Like, do you just have nothing but bowling balls?
I got 30 balls with me every time.
Right.
Absolutely not.
And they also think that truck that's there, any one of you can go out and pick a ball. We have it's fully stocked, and it's not like
it is not that way.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, Blair, like I'm happy it's not that way because it would get out of hand.
Yes.
And obviously that's why that's in place. But me specifically, I'm not a big ball driller because I tend to bring a variety of balls.
Right.
If there's just clearly something missing, then of course we will drill something.
Right. Well, not to mention too all the things again, like if you think about it, right? Because I think sometimes people don't think when they think of things, right? Like, oh, the pros can drill any ball they want on the truck. Well, you still have to get the specs right. And things can go wrong all the time when you're drilling that are it's not a bad driller.
Right.
It just, something can go wrong. A grip can be a wrong grip. Like, anything can happen.
I have a funny story about that. And I don't know what year it was, but so for those of you that don't know, we have to fill out the sheet.
Yeah.
And then we give it to the ball rep, who then lays out the ball, puts the sheet with the ball, gives it to the driller. Great. That's exactly how it works. So if you, as the bowler, fill out the sheet incorrectly and it's drilled incorrectly, well, that's on you. Well, that happened to me because it's very important that you note what your span is, if it's cut to cut, or if it's full total span.
Yeah.
Well, he drilled mine full total span, so my hand did not fit in it, which was my fault because I wrote it incorrectly.
Right.
So to your point, I showed up the next morning to put all my grips in, put my little thumb in, and it didn't work because it didn't fit me.
Right.
So I paid for a ball, because we do pay for them.
Yeah.
That I couldn't even use.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, so it's not glamorous. So that week that you had could have gone all different ways, but I'm glad it ended up the way it did.
It ended so magnificently, and I don't want to say by chance because I think things work out the way they're supposed to. Like, for some reason, I just was not supposed to have all my balls with me.
Sure.
Because I probably, honestly, would not have drilled those balls.
Right.
That's just the fact of the matter.
Right.
Because I just don't really do that.
Right.
So, I just think when things are supposed to work out, they do. They may not be the path you think it's going to go,
Right.
which could essentially be a lot of these kids here,
Yeah.
have a roller coaster of their games, good game followed by a bad game, but just trying to stay even keel, just like not let your highs get too high and your lows get too low.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I mean, I
Yeah.
cannot sit here and say like, oh, this is just the easiest thing ever, because you as well, we
Yeah.
understand.
Oh no. Yeah, for sure.
It's frustrating because there's so many things, and then you got all the fans, and there's parents here. I mean, this place is jam-packed.
Packed. Yeah.
With people, which is amazing. And I mean, as a youth bowler, which for me was a while ago, you don't want to disappoint your parents or your
Right. The people that brought you.
exactly your family, your friends, whoever's here with you, because I think as well bowling lacks just a little bit of an educational piece where kids come from wherever they come from. Let's just say a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe they actually don't bowl on sport patterns enough.
Correct. Yeah.
So they average, let's just say, 202 at their bowling center on a house shot, which is great. But when you come here, which is amazing that they're here, it's just a very different animal because the playing field is way different.
So different. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a new group of bowlers. Looks like we have some U18 coming in. We have Harper Burnett, Malachi Wilson, Landon Donaldson, Connor Abbott, Xavier Castaneda, and Ryan Burgess. That's on 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8, we have Hayden Bell, Caden Hefner, Wesley Kiefer, Alexandro Castaneda, Bryson Buckner, and Aaron Odejebe. So those are the bowlers we'll watch. We'll see if we have some bios coming up.
That was some tongue twisters there.
Oh, man.
I'm glad you were saying it, not me.
I'm
forgive
secretly
me.
proud of Odejebe because I've been practicing that one for a long time.
Now, on the bios, are
Yes.
they able to phonetically spell out their
Yes, we've added that.
Okay.
But then what I do is I read before I read the bio. So then I go back and I'm like, oh, I pronounced your name wrong.
You're like, oh,
That's
wait,
how you
it's
say it.
actually Smith.
Yeah. Well, and then it's really funny because the question does say like, hey, can you help us like phonetically pronounce your name?
How do I say
right?
your name?
Because sometimes the first names are hard, so it can't just be last
yeah.
name too.
Right.
But I do love it when some people that have easy names do it anyway. I appreciate it. Yeah, right. But then I have other people that see phonetically and then put their phone number in. I'm like, are you just messing with me?
You're like, what kind of message is this sending? Okay.
Yeah, really.
Are you just filling the field because it says it's a required field to submit something?
Right.
It's so funny.
It's all good. Yeah, like call me. I'll let you know.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's see if we have some. We haven't seen the Castanedas. They're from Houston, I believe.
I do see them as well at workshops and
Oh no, San Antonio.
various
I'm wrong.
tournaments.
Yeah, San Antonio they're from.
That would make sense because
Yeah.
we just had our big bowl of the pros there. So
Yeah, they bowl at Skylark.
okay.
Xavier here just turned 18. He has won the Texas High School Regionals in the past, and he plays soccer when he's not bowling. I'm not sure if he still plays soccer. This is a older bio, but he does.
But he did at some point.
Yes. Oh, Mike Sinnixon. He told me good job on Aaron because I've been practicing for a month, but I messed up Malachi.
Where are we at?
Malachi Wilson.
Yeah, I think you said Malachi or something.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, wow, these are tongue twisters,
Yeah.
Blair. I'm glad you were saying them.
Yeah,
'cause
no, Malachi.
I got Connor Abbott. Cool. Ryan Burgess, that's probably pretty
Harper.
standard.
Harper's a good one. Yeah.
Landon, Wesley,
yeah.
Malachi.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Malachi later.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. Well, it's okay. I was on the microphone yesterday. I don't think you were here yet, but I was doing announcements and just running through stuff. And you know, when you're running through stuff, you just like,
Sometimes you're on autopilot,
Yeah.
but, you know, things just come out.
yeah. I meant to say Dell first, like Dell Ballard Jr.,
Oh, right.
but I put Carolyn first.
Carolyn Ballard Jr.
I did. That's what
She's
I
like,
said.
what?
And the whole, like, everyone laughed, and I'm like, all right, I need more coffee. It's like, you guys know what I meant.
You know what I meant,
Right.
so let's just go with it.
Yeah, let's move on.
Dell and Carolyn,
Yeah.
cool, who are actually literally right behind us.
They are.
We obviously have a backdrop, but their pro shop is now moved to the low end of Cityview, and
It's big.
it's
It's
bigger.
a big pro shop in
It's
there.
amazing. Good for them.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and they have their collectibles in there, and they keep adding things, which is fun. And
Yeah, really personalizing the space.
yeah, Cityview is still going through a remodeling project.
Yeah.
So they're
It's a work in progress.
yeah, it's when it's all done, it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all you can hope for with, bowling centers, just kind of
Yeah,
trying to
update and upgrade.
update and renovate. I mean, our center's doing the same thing, Plano Super Bowl. You probably saw my post, maybe not, but
Yeah.
I'm a little biased from where I come from.
Yeah.
That it's the best. So
Yeah, no, I love it. I love when bowling centers choose to put some money into their future, right? Like,
yeah.
that's the way it should be. You walk in places, and
I mean, I'm not a business owner, but I think if I was, that's what I would do.
Me too, right? Yeah.
It's,
And-
people notice it. Ooh, he flew that deadwood out of there on lane 6.
I'm telling you, if you want to shoot the 710, you want it on lane 6.
That has been flying pins out. You know, we got
Yeah.
crazy kickbacks or what's going on over there. But we should just have the intercom on repeat.
Yeah, we need a walkie down here.
Or read that white flag, like, I surrender. And
Yeah.
they're like, what's going on down there?
Yeah, they're bouncing. The pins are bouncing. Well, you get some speed from these U18 guys too.
But they're going to bowl because
Apparently,
it's
I think Xavier's going to tell him to stop. No,
not in
no,
the way.
apparently not. We have.
That's when you hope that nobody hits them just by accident. Yeah. You never know. I've seen some crazy things happen,
Me
especially
too.
when the deadwood is, I mean, it's always in the gutter, but closer to the pins, like if you're going to shoot a 10 pin.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then I've seen, which I'm sure you have as long as you've been bowling. And actually, I have done this where I was trying to move a deadwood with a ball, and I bounced it and hit a light and got severely yelled at. Have you ever
like
done that? Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, no,
I
I-
can't say I can add that to my resume. Like
yeah.
you actually hit the masking unit with your ball?
No, like
the-
under with the lights, like the pin lights.
Oh.
I broke a light all over the pin deck.
And I would be so scared here with these digital walls.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
would
Good
be like,
point.
absolutely not. You get that deadwood out, which
Right.
honestly, per USBC rules,
They
if the
should-
deadwood
yeah.
is actually back by the pins, you cannot legally throw the ball because it can obviously help the pins.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to call this in. I'm actually texting.
Just call the front desk.
You know.
Deadwood on 6 and 7.
Yeah.
6, 7.
Oh,
6,
see, it's
7.
here. It's here.
Blair, okay.
Yes.
I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old.
How many times have you heard 6-7?
So here we go. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
High five up high.
Oh dear.
Down low, up in heaven. 6, 7.
Oh.
My daughter did that to me the other day. I'm like, okay. You know, when I did high five up high, down low, you pulled your arm and you're
Right.
like,
Yeah. Too slow. Yeah. Did you do that to them?
I thought she was going to do it. So I was like,
Oh.
she goes, no, just hit my hand. And then she did up in heaven. And I'm like, what the heck? 6, 7. I'm like, wow. What are we doing here?
So the 6-7 thing, actually, one of the SYC kids, the first time I heard it was like in Nashville, which apparently is right when it started this year.
It kind of
and-
started, went away, and then like totally came back.
Right. Yeah.
I don't. you know.
So, and the kids like were walking past and they were like, Blair, say 6'7", and I'm like, oh, what?
Like the number
Yeah,
or the
right.
split.
And then I'm like, is this a bat? Like, what are we doing? Like,
right.
they
Am
were
I
older kids.
subliminally
Like,
cursing at you?
yeah, like what is this? So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So,
Right.
so that because I know these kids, I'm like, yeah, no, you're pulling one over on me.
Exactly.
So then I started hearing about this, and then Myrtle Beach. I had kids. There were 6-7 hand like signals that the kids were like, can we do a 6-7 picture? I'm like, sure. Hang on, I can't hear.
Well, it's just interesting to me how something, in my opinion, that's sort of pointless or silly can just totally go viral and take off on so many levels, different age brackets. Like I said, I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, so they are hearing it constantly and constantly bringing it home and telling me 6'7". And if I bowled a 267, 267.
Yeah. Could you imagine being a teacher right now? I mean, you do a little substitute teaching,
Yeah.
but
It is so interesting to me because
I think of like Marsha Klumpkin, who's a math teacher, and I'm like,
you're like,
I would
sorry.
ban it. Like, I would ban the 1-6. Like, yeah. Because how many? Yeah. Anyway, it's just. I mean, it's fun though. It is cute. Like the kids have fun with it, but
it's cute in the sense of I don't understand it.
Well, even when I read up on it, I was like, okay, it's a height of a basketball player, and then a kid like did a video, and then it went viral or something. Like, I don't know.
More than me.
That's all I know.
I never researched it. I was just asking the question constantly of, what does this mean?
Well, when you're being told it, and by kids you don't know, and like, again, I'm in a position where I'm like, is it bad? So I'm trying to Google it.
And you're like, 6?
Yeah.
Is that the devil? Like,
right. Because numbers were different back in the day, which I have seen some other people comment on. It's like, I don't know. I don't know about this.
I've seen some cute memes that have just randomly popped up that wait till this generation learns about 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah, that one's good. Yeah.
I was like, you're right. But is it really 9 to 5 anymore? Like,
yeah. Right.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny. I'm like, hey, as long as no one's getting hurt,
right?
I'll jump into 6-7 trend and pretend like I think it's funny.
I know, seriously. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to stay up on this stuff. I feel old when some of this stuff happens. I'm like, am I really
oh my
that old?
Gosh, my kids will come home and say something, and I'll have to. I'm like, what was that?
No,
and
but
they'll still say it again, and I still have no clue. Like there was a point where Skibbity Riz.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
I don't even know because
Ohio was a slang at some point. Yeah, they really don't.
It's
but
like,
I do
that
love.
Was so last week, I'm like, well, by the time I hear about it, I don't even know what it is, and then I'm not even using it in the correct terms. I'll say it trying to be cool, which, I just need to stop that. They're like, Mom, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be over here. In the corner.
But I was going to comment and I have seen a lot of moms and even kids. You have some cool apparel that you make.
I do.
Like when the trends are happening, the life of a bowler. I loved that one. That
blew up.
That one's fun.
I'm going to toot my own horn on that one. That one was pretty genius.
I'm
surprised nobody else thought of it, or maybe they did. I don't know. But
we did the teaser when the drop happened. We did an orange ball, but then people thought we were bringing out an orange ball. And no.
You're like, no, this is just part of that.
Right. Like, we're just following everyone else, so don't.
And the funny thing is, like, for the life of a bowler shirt and sweater or whatever, like, I'm not what I would consider to be, like, a huge Swiftie.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate someone that is absolutely in a league of their own.
100%. Yeah.
She is that. She encompasses all of that. So, it just felt... I don't know if appropriate's the right word, but it was just super fitting. I'm like, oh my gosh, the life of a bowler. Like, that means so many different things to
It
so many
does.
different people.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was wearing it in the pro shop the other day, and the gentleman came in who I didn't know, and he read my shirt, Life of a Bowler. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, what's that like? I'm like, it's the best life ever. And he goes, why is that? I said, because I get to do what I love to do all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I would just love to hear everybody's,
Yeah, their thoughts on that or
yeah, just the way they feel about it. And because it's just different for everybody. Okay, stop talking about Rob. He's here
I
now.
know we have a Rob Gottschall appearance. Rob, who's about to have 2 youth bowlers in his household.
Yes. Hey, Rob, I was enlightening Blair because the kiddos got the Ion Pro Solid as their ball this week. I told her, I said, I won my last title with that ball, but I said the funny story about it is I showed up to that tournament with no balls. And I bowled practice session with like the 6 balls I had, and we just drilled a bunch of balls, and then I won. And it was literally like all I threw, that and like the ember and
That's
something
awesome.
else. And
Yeah.
so Rob was the man.
Well, Rob is the man. Let's be honest. He figures stuff out. That's for sure.
I don't envy their jobs though,
Oh
because
man.
you know they're the first ones that get the brunt of it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, why'd you drill that ball for me? Or oh, that was not the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can kind of relate like ball repping to some of the parents here, which I'm going to use that term lightly because a lot of the parents, and this is not everybody, but a lot
Yeah.
of them maybe do not bowl.
For
And
sure.
And if they do bowl, they do not bowl on these types of patterns.
No.
So with that in mind, the advice, the suggestions are just different when it comes to sport bowling versus your casual league bowling, because your angle changes, possibly even ball changes, tend to be quite drastic compared to like league bowling, where you're just moving a 2 and a 1.
Yep.
And sometimes that works here. Don't get me wrong. But from the back, which is obviously where we are as well, it's always easier back here, Blair.
It's so
you know what
easy.
I'm saying? Like, it's just so
Yeah.
easy. Like, oh, wow, just do this. You know, just stand here, throw that ball.
My
you know?
favorite is when there's something like, because it happens on any pair, but like a hook spot happens on the live stream pair,
Oh, right.
and we
and it could
see
just
it.
be on one lane.
100%. We see it. So then all day long, we're like, nah, he hit the hook spot. And it's like, but they have no idea.
Well,
It's their like
They
first
still
shot.
hit it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Like,
I'll circle back to what I said earlier in game 2, that it's just, as the player, you need to really be in tune with, holy cow, like, that ball hooked a lot
yeah, right.
on 7, and it did not do that on 8. When you show up on 7 again, you better move.
Absolutely.
And if
yeah.
your move doesn't work, then I would absolutely tell you it's probably a ball change. But again, you only get 5 frames on each lane. So it could be the 3rd throw on that lane. And you're like, wow, maybe I do need to make a move. And then I don't want to say it's too late, but
You said it earlier. There's only 10 frames, and
don't
when you're
have a lot of
bowling,
time.
not great in a game, don't you feel like it goes so fast?
It goes fast, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Because I think subconsciously you rush, right? Like we
For
just
sure.
want to get through it. We want to just be done with it and move to the next pair and cross our fingers that the next pair is better, which obviously is not always the case either.
So Malachi here, who's up on
I'm sorry,
5.
who?
I know, I got it right. I'm saying it again. Actually,
Malachi.
hold on. They did do the pronunciation.
See, that's not how, if it's Malachi, which
Yeah.
I'm positive it is, that's not how I would have typed it.
Yeah, me
phonetically.
neither. Yeah, but you know what? It's fine.
We're going with Malachi.
He's from Jonesboro, Georgia.
Okay.
His best bowling achievement this year was he won first place in the I'm sorry, not this year, but his favorite bowling achievement was he won first place in the 2022 GYBT TOC. So tournament.
Georgia Youth Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions.
Yes.
I'm going with that.
I think you're right. Which is just awesome. Anytime that you're in the Tournament of Champions,
So
And you
that
win?
means he won again.
Right.
Like, he won prior to that.
he won the
And then he
Tournament
won
of
the champions.
Champions. Right, which is so cool. I love that.
That's awesome. You know, that would be cool if the PWBA would have one of those.
No kidding. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Hint, hint.
You know, I don't know how many different champions there are. I actually don't know that answer either.
That would be cool.
But I think that would be cool.
Why don't you do that?
I mean,
Huh.
I think the closest thing they have to something like that, I'm assuming, would be like the Tour Championships,
Right.
which isn't champions. It's just a culmination of that year.
Sure,
of the
and
points.
devil's advocate, like, yeah, that when the tour, obviously there was the break. We all hate that break for everyone because that was awful. But now the tour's been back long enough that there are enough champions to warrant that again, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, because it's 10 years.
This was, we just finished 10 years, so
Yeah.
next year will be 11.
Yeah,
And,
so I feel like, and there's enough players that even if they're not bowling full time anymore, they would probably come out and bowl that.
I would think so. Like,
Right.
if that would be I don't know if it's another major or replace the Tour Championship or whatever that
Right.
would look like. You know, I don't know.
That's
but
a great idea, Steph.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Year one, I would say, no, there's not enough champions.
right, sure.
But I need to look into that because I'm not even sure how many different champions there are. Just
I'm
in
not
general.
either, yeah. Right.
And I know that's all on the website.
Yeah, and there's,
But hey, I'm on a hump, so I'll bowl.
that's right. And you know, we've thrown it around with the SYC too, doing a Tournament of Champions, but it's so tough because you'd have to have a bowling center that could host it, and then you'd have to time it right. Like for the
Yeah.
kids, it's just so different than having like a local tour where you're all kind of in that region.
Right.
All of our champions are all over.
All over the
yeah,
place.
so it's like, okay,
Which
well,
is amazing.
right. Like if we go back to Trevor Mason, he's from Texas, right? And then Anna Antony's from Connecticut.
Right.
So we're
You got kiddos in Vegas over here.
right.
There's probably, is there anybody from Alaska?
We have had some bowlers from Alaska. They come and bowl the Las
Idaho?
Vegas.
Okay.
Las Vegas one, Idaho, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think we've had any champions yet from Alaska. I could be wrong. Someone
It
could
is
call me
totally
out.
on my bucket list to travel to. I think it's probably on everybody's for that matter. But so
Yeah.
just a fun little fact. I say it's for my kids, but last Christmas I bought this massive frame. It was probably 4 feet by 3 feet. But it's matted with the United States, so it's a
Excellent.
big picture
Yep.
frame.
Yep.
So obviously you can put pictures in the States. Some of them are much smaller. But
Right.
the goal is to visit all of them, which is a very stealthy goal, which
Right.
probably will not happen.
Is this as a family or
as a family.
okay, as a family?
Yeah.
Nice. I have another friend who's doing that with her kids. Yeah.
So whenever we, it just makes, I don't know, planning
Yeah.
trips, I don't want to say better, but more unique.
Right.
Because I'm sure everybody can relate to, well, you tend to go where you like
Yeah,
and where you've
for
been.
sure.
But this past, goodness, it was last weekend. I was working the PWBA regional in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
I had never been to South Carolina myself. So I brought the whole family with.
That's
and
awesome.
check that state off the list. And
Perfect. Yeah.
it's just cool because you can kind of fill it in.
Yeah.
And you can literally see, where you've been. And it just makes planning a little more fun. So
Well, and I think it's not easier per se, but it also like the kids, like so, like you said, if they liked a place and they
Right.
want to go back, they have that goal of going to all 50 states, so they're on board with like,
Right.
okay, we're going to Arkansas this year, like,
right.
or and not anyone that's from Arkansas, I'm not
No, of course.
discounting
But it's
Arkansas.
very close by to here.
Exactly, right. Like, or, going to, and you can find what's special about each state, I think
my gosh.
is the cool part too.
There's just so, I personally have been very lucky to have, I've only not been to I think it's 6 states.
Sure.
With Alaska and Hawaii being 2 of them.
Yeah.
But I would love for my kiddos to kind of just see different parts of the country.
Absolutely.
And, you know, one trip we flew into Denver. We did a train ride through the mountains, which my son loves trains. It was incredible. I would have never done that without him.
Right.
And then we drove up to Mount Rushmore. I had never been to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I've never been there either. That's one of my goals is to go there.
Yeah, and that was a cool conversation with my kids because, you know, again, they're 8 and 11, so they're very familiar with what Mount Rushmore is. And I said, sweetie, it took me 41 years to get here.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been here.
Right.
And we purposefully added South Dakota to our little road trip because
cool. we
could put a picture in the frame.
Absolutely.
And it was amazing. If you've never been there, I was fearful it would be underwhelming.
Yeah.
Just because.
Right.
You know, you see the pictures and you read about it and you're like, this is going to be some stupid little rock.
Yeah.
It was breathtaking.
Oh, that's cool.
We were on whatever road it was where you turn the corner and it was like right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, trying to get the camera out, you know, take this video.
So
pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think there were some bowlers this week with the flights being as they were. Some of the families decided to drive. And I have heard like they were checking off some different states along the way because they're like, now we get to drive. But your underwhelming thing, and I would tell parents like, man, if you're Googling like what to do in that city, go do some stuff. Because my dad, when I moved to Utah, it's so funny because my dad liked trains as well.
Sure.
And so he knew about the Golden Spike in Utah.
Okay.
So
we've never been to Utah, so I think I might take them to headquarters.
Yeah, you should. and if your son does love trains, this story relates to this because there was a Golden Spike, and I don't know the full story, but there was a race to connect the Transcontinental Railroad back in the day, like because originally the railroad didn't go to California, right?
That was the means of transportation.
Exactly. So my dad was like, and the Golden Spike is about an hour north of Storm.
Okay.
Or like 40 minutes or whatever.
Which is great because then I can go to Montana.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. So and everyone tells me like, because my dad was coming to visit for the first time, and I was like, what do you guys want to do? My sister was coming too, and you know, his number one thing is this Golden Spike. And I'm like, there's going to be nothing out there. Because I knew where it was.
Right.
And I'm like, there's nothing out there because they were building the railroad, right? So,
right.
And so I'm like, you know, everyone at Storm's asking me, they're like, what are you going to do with your dad when he comes? I'm like, well, he really wants to go out and see the Golden Spike. So I'm going to bring him to Storm, and then we're going to drive out to see this
spike
Golden
in the ground.
Right. And this is what I was thinking, right? Just like you. Like, okay,
like
I'm going to see. Exactly.
And then turn around and go home.
So we drove out there, and I could not have been more wrong about this. It was unbelievably cool. They have built a museum. They do have, like, you walk through, you hear the story, there's videos. They're a little older, so like, you know, as is. But then they do a demonstration of the trains meeting. They've made model trains. Now, I'm not all into trains, but it was really cool.
My son would know all of that. I'm going to go home and ask him about the Golden Spike.
And he probably knows.
Because he will rattle off when we're driving, like what kind of train it is, what kind of engine it is,
right?
What kind of where it's going because of what it might look like.
Oh yeah, he knows about the Golden Spike.
We're talking. We started with the Thomas and Friends, when we were babies.
Yeah.
And it was never a phase. It was a thing.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into my whole front room. So, little fun fact: we have a pool table.
Yeah.
Which, for all intents and purposes, was to be used as a pool table, but it is now the green grass of the train station. I will send you a picture, Blair, because it goes around the whole thing.
Yeah.
He has things that go up, and it's fine because at the beginning I thought, oh my gosh, like really, this is not what this was for. But you know what?
And pool tables are not cheap.
Yeah,
Right.
and then I really came to terms with, you know what? This is exactly what it's for.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is exactly what it's for.
This is what
in this chapter in our life, because there will come a point where all of this will be gone.
Totally.
And it will be a pool table.
Yep.
And it probably won't get used often.
Right. And you'll miss the
and
trains.
I will want the damn trains, excuse my French,
Yeah.
on the pool
Right,
table.
right.
You
Yeah,
know? So
for sure.
anyway,
Yeah.
it's
Do you have a
just,
train that goes around the Christmas tree or anything yet?
Oh, he puts that there.
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
I was going to say, because I do like that.
At some point, it went from, not that you know the lay of my house,
Yeah.
but the living room through the kitchen to the front room. So you'd better not step or kick the track because there might be a train coming, you know?
Be a train. That's fantastic.
It's so funny.
Oh, I love that.
And his, he has a phone, and his text message is a choo-choo train.
That's amazing.
It's so cute.
I love that for him.
He's going to be my little computer engineer guy.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's
right.
going to do.
Or he'll be like a conductor for trains or something, like mapping the train. I don't know the train sphere, but maybe there's someone that needs to map all the train tracks, and he's the one doing it. So,
Levi Johnson, he will be all in.
Oh, that's awesome.
What do we got for scores, Blair? Do we have scores
Yeah.
after 2,
I was
perhaps?
going to see.
Since we're finishing up game 3 here. Is it Xavian? Did I say that right?
Xavian, yeah.
He's got a pretty good game going here on lanes 5 and 6 with 167 in the 7th frame.
Alejandro's
Pretty
over
solid.
here. That's his brother. He's
Okay.
He's doing pretty well too. He's got a solid game.
Yep.
And
And Aaron, did I say that right?
Aaron, yeah.
Got it.
Trying to see details as well.
It's always interesting to me, too, on the short pattern that they're rolling on. Like, as the games go, it tends to feel longer and longer.
Yeah.
Just based on lane play, ball choices, things of that nature.
So almost all the scores are in for U18 boys. There's maybe 2 pairs that didn't get put in this game, which we'll catch, when the scores come in the next game they see. Oh, there might have been a...
Got some cheering down there in the middle part of the lane.
Yeah. But Mateo Ruiz shot 274 last game. He's in first. He is plus 99.
Awesome.
Christian Mouton is plus 82. He's had 258, 224. And then rounding out third is Pablo Abina.
We're going to go with Abina for now.
Yeah. And then Braden Foster, Gavin Fernandez. On the girls' side, let's see what the girls are doing. So girls, some actually have 3 games in. But
just a couple.
Anna Antony, it looks like, is leading at plus 54. And Jersey Gill, plus 16. And Abby Craig, plus 7.
Okay.
Those are... But not a lot of high scores. The circles are 200s, and then we got only a few circles. So
yeah, absolutely.
Struggling a little bit this morning.
But hey, that goes back to our conversation about pace of play.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I can't tell you how many tournaments where the cut was actually minus.
Yeah.
Winning the tournament was minus, and that's, of course, based on 200. So you never know.
Right.
But it's just important to know that, hey, if you're shooting 190s and everybody is shooting 190s, you're good.
Yeah.
Right? Let's not try and reinvent the wheel here to try to shoot 220 and end up shooting 120.
That is the key to success.
I mean, if that's the only piece of advice you listen to this week, it's just really understanding what that pace sort of looks like, because it does change. But generally speaking, if you need to make a risk just to kind of get there, go for it.
Yeah. The cool jerseys, I'm not to interrupt, but Wesley's jersey that he's wearing.
With all the little Texas.
It's all little Texas, but I thought it was Bomb Pops when I first saw it.
It's so cute.
I love it.
I could totally see Bomb Pops.
Right.
They just need a little stick on them.
Yeah.
They could be Texas Bomb Pops.
I'm going to talk to our friends at Coolwick. But
they're right behind us as well.
Yeah, really. But I do love the jerseys, the jersey options they had.
It is fun. I love seeing people's personalities. I mean, obviously, for me.
You got a 6'7" at you.
We did. Was that even on camera?
I don't know. I think you looked at the wrong camera because they don't know that one camera's not on right now. But
that was so funny. We weren't even talking about it.
Yeah. Although Carter is pretty tall, and he actually is blocking the lane view, and I don't think he knows it. But these U18 boys can get pretty tall.
I was going to say, if that's the view, he was definitely on camera.
Yeah.
But he was just looking at me.
Yeah.
for some reason.
Hang on a second. I need to tell him to down in front. Hold on.
You got to get down.
He's like,
I mean,
it happens.
he's tall.
Yeah.
He's just standing in the wrong spot. That's all.
We had a higher table, and then I walked in this morning, and the higher table was gone, and I'm like,
Excuse me.
yeah, so it's all right. I could maybe make the tripod a little higher, but
It's okay. We'll just tell people to sit down, take a break.
well,
You
guys
know.
like Carter and Harper, I'm not sure who's taller.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
we're-
there's some pretty. And Harper, I looked it up. I was like, does he play basketball? But he actually golfs.
wow.
And bowls. Those are his two sports.
I'd love to see this. His clubs have to be this big.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah. He really enjoys it. Harper's bowled a few tournaments. He's a great bowler. Yeah. And you were mentioning about personality. Ryan Burgess, I asked him, I was like, he has a Capybara jersey. I don't know if you've seen it.
Ooh.
He's going to wear it tomorrow.
I haven't seen it, but my daughter is infatuated with capybaras.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to admit I did not know what one was
I know what they are.
until fairly recently.
Yeah.
She's like, capybara. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Right.
I'm Googling it, didn't spell it right.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's really cute.
Yeah. I saw one in a zoo a long, long time ago when I was really little, so I knew what it was. And Ryan showed up in an SYC, and the person.
Are they just all over his jersey?
Yes.
Okay.
It's fantastic. And the person I was live streaming with also didn't. He's like, "What is on that
Does
jersey?"
he have like hamsters?
Yeah, and I was like, "I
Gerbil?
think they're capybaras, or however you say it."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I keep hearing an alarm. It's not my
I
phone."
know.
I'm like,
I'm like, hello?
yeah.
It's close by though.
I'm pretty sure that there's a little U12 bowler that is
Rock star down there. I don't know. We got Leanne's filming something.
right. There was something happened down there.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
have
excited to see it. Well, was that Henry Mann's pair?
It
Nolan
was, but
Randisi?
I don't think it was Henry.
I'm
Looked like
not
it might have been
sure.
a Wesley or I'm not sure.
We
I'm
got-
not gonna
We got
guess.
Zach walking down towards this way. Maybe we'll stop him and ask what's all the commotion about. We want to know all the good stuff.
Did you catch that?
Two.
Who? Hayden who? Caden.
Caden,
Yeah,
we have a 289 coming in the U12.
that's amazing.
That will most certainly boost them. Caden
Was it
Jewel.
Caden Jewel?
There we go.
Oh,
Caden with a K.
Caden Rosado. Okay.
Caden
Yeah,
with a K.
Yeah.
289. Good job.
that's amazing.
Well, that will absolutely
Skyrocket him.
skyrocket him to what, about minus 30
Yeah.
roughly? Minus
So
31?
it should put him near either second or third,
Yeah,
depending on what
obviously.
Cooper did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then
That's exciting.
that is
you know,
exciting.
But I will also say, and I'm not going to be Debbie Downer here, I'm just going to state some facts, where you bowl an extremely high game, which 289 is
Yeah,
absolutely that,
yeah,
and you go to the next pair, and all of a sudden it's just completely different. So keep the momentum going, because obviously you're on a
right,
high,
right.
but also be present in the sense of what the next pair is going to be doing. And making good shots, of
100%.
course, is critical.
For sure, yeah. I think so. I think we're going to take a break after we finish up these bowlers in front of us, which were in the 10th frame for most everybody.
Yes.
And we'll take a short break, and then we're going to do a switch. I think Rob Gotchel may come in and chat. And we'll either you'll stay or we'll figure out who's going to.
Yeah. I
We're
may go
gonna-
down and watch some of the girls.
There you go. Okay, I love it. And then maybe you'll come back. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a little
I'm not
switcheroo.
going anywhere. I just maybe
Are
won't
you
be
sure?
sitting right here.
Are you sure?
I'll bring you another
You're
donut.
gonna man, this donut's really good actually. I'm enjoying it. A nibble.
See, I brought her breakfast, Rob,
Yeah, it's great.
and there's more of them in the
Yeah.
meeting room.
Yeah, Sure. Tournament office?
Tournament
Yeah.
office. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going to watch Mr. Aaron finish up here. Some more bowlers. Yeah, you'll have to come back and let us know how the girls are doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go towards the super high end
Okay.
in the 50s.
Yeah,
down
see
there
how the
on
lanes are
on the
playing.
other side
we
of the
need
wall.
we need a lane play assessment now that you've seen the low end.
Right.
How are how's the high end different?
Or is it?
Or is it?
To be
yeah,
determined.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's not different at all.
Now, for my knowledge, because I'm not actually familiar, the girls and the boys cross on the same lanes,
Yes,
correct?
they do. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. The girls should. Yeah, and they all will move. So at some point, girls will make their way down here. For
Right.
anyone watching at home.
Right.
And we started with some U15 girls. Yeah, this is gonna be a very short break because this group's already here. They're like,
They're
oh,
already here.
we're
They're
ready. We're done.
actually, we are ready
Yeah,
to
they're
go.
starting. So, all right, let me take a break. So
Take a
just
little
so we
bathroom
can,
break.
Yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. And we're joined by none other than Rob Gottschall. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Blair. How are you?
Good. What's your official title at Storm now? I apologize. I should know.
I'm the Director of Sports Marketing.
That's right. It just sounds so cool. I just like your title.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Rob, you've been watching some bowling. You watch some of the best players in the world bowl, and now we're watching some of the best kid bowlers in the world bowl. What do you think? What do you see?
Oh, I mean, there's tons of talent across, all the different age groups. Obviously, short pattern this morning, little more kind of defined way they usually play the lanes, or what types of balls they use, whether it's urethane or, bigger balls that they throw straighter, but they're just so much more educated at this level than, I think back to, when I was a kid, we just weren't this advanced.
Right.
And, whether it's from, the way they throw it to the education of how to play the lanes or the education about their bowling balls, the kids are just so much more advanced at this level. And their expectations are also advanced. I've been kind of sitting in the back listening to some of their conversations with each other, some of their conversations with their parents, and
have you done like a double take? You're like, did they just talk
Yeah,
about like front to back ball motion?
Yeah,
Like,
there's some of that. There's just, the way they just expect to succeed at such a high level. It's not cockiness.
no.
It's confidence and belief in themselves, and it's opportunity too, right? Events like this, the SYCs, you didn't get a bowl on a kind of a national level as a youth this often. There was always like the one or the two tournaments, and so they just have so much more experience. But then also standing in the back, you get to see the camaraderie that and the friendships that they've built. I don't know a lot of them as well as you do. Obviously,
Sure.
I know some of our, younger Storm staff players.
Right. Like in front of us, we have Joss Weems and Brady McDonough.
Yeah, which I got to work with them for the first time in Sweden a couple years ago.
Right. That's right. I forgot they went and bowled that.
And so, and then in some previous stuff, they'd made some TV shows that I was on the production team for.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, these kids come from all over the place. Some are local, some are, in here. I heard we have people from a couple different countries.
Yeah, England came over this weekend, which is pretty cool. Joss Weems here, we mentioned him. He's on a turkey. Actually, this pair they're starting off striking. They're like, yeah, we're good. We figured the short pattern out. Or it's opening up a little bit. I jinxed Joss there.
Yeah, I think the transition's a little more clear now. I started kind of at the high end of the building, which they kind of started in the medium high end game one. And they seemed a little tighter down on the high end, and I don't know if it was just because of the way they transitioned right away, but people have kind of come down here and seen a little more friction.
So it's so funny because Zach was on your game one, and I'm like, hey, because he bowls league here, and I'm like, hey, do you know any like house characteristics? And he literally said, he goes, yeah, I think the high end's going to be tighter because that's where they put league. Which in my head, I would think that wouldn't be the case because normally where they bowl, I don't, ignorance over here. I would think whether they bowl league, it would be, the track would be more beat in. But he said it plays tighter up there.
Which generally, kind of in today's game, things have just changed so much that tighter doesn't necessarily mean the lane surface is better. It could mean the ball hooks earlier, which
sure.
Especially with the, using urethane balls and playing straighter with urethane. The reason you use it is you use it to hook early to control the lane.
Yeah.
Well, if they hook earlier down there, it's going to make them tighter down the lane.
That
because
makes sense.
The ball's going to burn up and it's just going to keep going straight.
Sure.
Now, these pairs down here where you're at can be a little tricky. I always say 1 through 6. I don't personally bowl here, but I've been here enough times for some tournaments. But like lanes 1 through 6 is where the Ballards do a lot of their lessons. And so you get more sport patterns put out down here, different types of stuff. I mean, they'll strip and oil and the house shot goes out. but lessons and pro shop play is completely different than league play.
Totally.
You know, and so I'll come in here sometimes with some of the pros will come to town, we'll work, and you know, or my wife would come here and practice some.
Right.
And you'll see like the senior leagues in the middle.
Yeah,
and, so,
and they have a lot of senior
Correct.
leagues. They do.
and so generally, those type of leagues, the lane surface holds up a little better. You don't have the rev rate. They're not using as strong of bowling balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot more of the, call it, higher end or adult leagues are on the high end of the building.
Yeah, so the bowlers in front of us, we'll just do a quick run through. 5 and 6, we have Elijah Pipkin, Michael Corbin, Matthew Sorla, Joss Weems, Nathaniel Thompson, and Cooper Strand. And then 7 and 8, which is the other main pair, is Carter Trawick, Brady McDonough, Jalen Brown, Jaden Alberto, William Linden, and Anthony Linker. Those are the players we're watching. As we mentioned, Elijah here. He's got on a 4-bagger.
I think you did a great job with the names.
Oh, thanks.
That's the hardest thing to do.
It so is.
In
you just have to own it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
especially when there's just so many new faces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, you got to wing it.
Yeah.
I always start with an apology at the beginning. Because
totally.
family and friends are listening.
Yeah.
Like, you're just doing your best.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, I've learned over the years that you really do have to just be confident, and then you do apologize. You're like, oh man, I really messed that one up. Because I bet Matthew, I that was the one I was like, I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, and then you just pull the kid aside at the end and say, hey, I want to get this right later in the week.
Yes. Yeah.
Or later in the event. But.
There's Aaron Odejebe. His name I have butchered for about 8 months, and then last tournament I was like, okay, Aaron, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna get this, and he worked with me. I was like, perfect. But Elijah here, as he did complete that 5 strikes in a row. He's from Lakeland, bowls at Strike Zone South Haven MS. Where do you think Lakeland is? Let's Google this.
Mississippi is the MS.
Maybe there's Lakeland, Florida. What was the bowling center? Hold on, let me go back. Strike Zone South Haven. Yeah, Mississippi. South Haven, Mississippi. There you go. There you go.
So he made a little trip.
Yeah. He has a 300 on a Sport Shot League already and an 800 on PBA Shark.
Okay. Yeah, he's got good, solid game, great fundamentals. Obviously, two-handed, using urethane, control the lane. He's got control of the pocket, little flat 10 there to end his string.
Dang it. Gary Faulkner Jr. is his coach. We know him.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
know Gary very well.
Yeah. You did mention earlier the fundamentals and how it's all just better. And I see this every time we come to an SYC. The one thing I notice is their balance at the line. Because I remember when I was a kid, I wasn't even close to being balanced. I was falling off shots. And now it's rare when you don't see a kid balanced at the line.
Yeah, I think, one, the people they look up to or their coaches preach it enough.
Right.
That the more stable you are, the easier it is to repeat. The thing with this generation that's tough, especially in the two-handed game, and even for the one-handers too, it's generally harder for them to create ball speed. So the only way to create ball speed the proper way is with your feet. Everything
Correct.
starts with your feet.
Right.
And so your feet got to get going a little quicker to throw it harder. And so, but
then you have to
still
stop.
need to maintain that balance, right? And Brady right here on lane 7 is a perfect example. He continues to grow. I remember when he was a foot shorter, right?
Yeah.
And so they can usually generate the power and the rev rate, but then their ball can't travel down the lane fast enough. So they learn, to throw it a little quicker with the feet, but then be able to control the balance. That's what separates them.
It's impressive.
Belmo's the perfect example. You go to when he first came over here, was bowling megabucks and bowling on tour. He wasn't as stable.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you watch some shows kind of when he started to make all his little run. he was posting them. That trail leg was down, and
Yeah.
you were like, "Look out, look out!" I mean, my man's figured it out, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because even Joss, I think he used to be also a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And he would like crunch up his body and be like really small. And now he has opened up his game more. He does have that speed you're talking about. He's getting more foot speed or feet speed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and some of it's just patience. You got to wait for growth.
Yeah.
Growth's got to happen.
Yeah, Mike Sinek, who has been helping out a lot at the SYCs, he talks to families a lot about that, especially the U12 age, right? Because you get the bowlers to a certain point where you just have to wait.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, they're going to grow. This is going to happen. They're going to get more ball speed naturally because they're going to grow. And the kids get frustrated because they see the older bowlers and they're like, I want to be doing that. And you're like, you will. Just hang on. It's okay.
Yeah, and it works both ways because there's also kids that are very, very good at the 8, 9, 10 to 12 range.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the growth spurt hits. Like there's one kid that comes to mind. I believe he's from Florida, Ridgely.
Yeah, Ridgely Potter.
Ridgely
yeah.
Potter.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the kid in like a year and a half. Happened to be at the PBA Junior Finals in Reno last year, and the kid was like 6 foot tall. He grew like 2 feet.
Funny story. He just bowled an SYC in Myrtle Beach, and his dad came over. They have to get a new car.
Yeah.
He's too tall. He gets the back of their back seat.
And so he was kind of experiencing on the other side.
Sure.
Kid was, I mean, tremendous fundamentals at 10, 11, 12 years old.
Right.
But now all of a sudden he went through all this growth spurt. So his swing was still the same, but now his legs are so much longer. And so he was struggling, just in his head because the problem is now the results weren't the same.
Right.
And so, it's not you can't have a results-driven thing when you're at this age because everything's changing, whether it's your feet, your fit, your legs, and so there's going to be, good times and bad times, and you just got to keep rolling with it. It's hard. It's hard to be
so
patient,
hard.
but
Well, and they're so competitive, like you mentioned earlier. They want to succeed. It's not that they expect to succeed, but they believe they'll succeed, which is great. And you don't want to take that away from them because that's so important.
And this is a big deal. I mean, these are big
Such
tournaments,
a big deal.
The one really cool thing I like about the format is how there's kind of like 3 tournaments within the big tournament.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of times once you start competing at the elite level, it's just one event. And so, whether it's you win, you cash, whatever it is, or you miss a cut. Well, here it's like everything resets for the next block.
100%.
Even though there is the overall, you still have something in its learning, right?
Right.
There's a lot of people that struggle on the short pattern, hardest to figure out. It's usually you have to be able to match your speed and your rev rate a lot more on the shorter patterns, even medium to an extent. Medium ratio matters a little more.
Well, and early on, they're doing things that maybe they don't want to do, right? Like, they don't want to play close to the gutter.
Yeah.
These guys that hook the whole lane, they're like, I don't want to play over there. What do you mean? So teaching yourself to do that takes time.
Yeah. You have to, what makes you uncomfortable, you have to work on that harder. And that's a difficult thing because we're talking about results. You're not going to be successful the first time you try it. The second time, it's going to take time.
Well, and that's what early on we did see a lot of bowlers throwing it in the channel, and we said, hey, that's going to happen this weekend. And these kids they don't turn around stomping their feet or throwing a fit because they threw it in the gutter because they're like, yeah, I'm looking at 5. It might happen, right? Or if I'm looking at 2, I mean, if you're looking at board 2, you could miss right and hit the gutter.
And there's examples of this at the elite level as well. At the adult level.
Yeah.
Last year in Delaware on the PBA tour, Michael Davidson either broke the 6-game scoring record or just missed it. He had like 10 gutter balls in that. So he broke a scoring record on the professional level, like
Yeah.
6 games, the highest thing anybody's ever done, and he threw in the gutter like 8 or 10 times.
So he had to lose count at some point.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, really.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's not. He wasn't scared,
Right.
And you can't be scared.
No, you can't.
Because
You
if-
just can't. Yeah.
If it wants you to throw it over there to 1-2, you got to throw it over there.
Yeah.
And occasionally, you're gonna miss.
Totally. The middle of the house is where the scoring is. I'll tell you what. It's not. I mean, it is a little down here. We've had some 200 games, but I would say as a whole, this end of the house seems to be playing a little more difficult.
Yeah, they're probably a little trickier lane to lane down here, just because it does get less play
Yeah.
comparatively to the rest of the house. Another thing I always try to follow is which age group started where.
Well, but we've been watching. So U12 and U15 girls started down here, right? Not
Yeah.
a lot of rev rate.
Correct.
There's just not. I mean, even with the U12 boys, that some of them do have a higher rev rate. They're still little, so
Yeah.
they're not
Well,
getting it down there as quick as.
and some of those, like if the girls were down here, right, less urethane, so there's going to be less oil down the lane,
Yes. Yep.
which is why they're also going to hook more.
Right.
The more you bowl behind the older boys or even the middle and younger boys,
Right.
there's more urethane, so there's more oil getting down the lane. And generally when you get up into the older age categories, more of them are in the same part of the lane, because
True. True.
they've just done this more,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You know,
Well, that's true. We have a lot of first-time SYC bowlers. Not to say they haven't bowled on sport shots, but when you do have a large amount of people learning, sometimes that they're not all playing in the same part of the lane because they don't know, and they're still, they're watching and trying to mimic other people, but they might be playing where they normally play.
yeah,
So
and we just talked about being uncomfortable. And when you're doing something for the first time, there's a lot going on.
yes,
So oftentimes you will go to do something that makes you comfortable,
yeah,
and which is it's not wrong.
No.
There's no right or wrong, and that's why it's all person dependent.
for sure. We did have. I'm trying to see someone that was local to Cityview. I think it was Jalen Brown on the right lane. He is. He bowls here at Cityview Lanes from Allen, Texas. 17 years old. He was the 2024-2025 bowling state champion in Texas.
That's awesome.
He swims and plays Roblox in his free time too. Wants to say hello to Nanny, Ray, Grammy, and grandmother. Excuse me. So.
I'm unfamiliar with Roblox.
Roblox. I can't tell you. I know it's a video game.
Okay.
I thought it was like a building one or something, but
Right.
yeah. There's people that are. I have a really close family friend back home, and they have a now 10-year-old, and he has been really into Roblox. And all I do for Christmas is get him a little Roblox gift card. That's all I know.
Perfect.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect. I'm sure you'll learn all of these things, Rob. You're very close to being on having two young. Now, will they be youth bowlers? That's the big question.
I mean, they're going to be able to do what they want to do.
Fair, yes.
If they want to go down the bowling route, we'll support it,
yeah.
because that's what me and my wife have done.
Right.
Pretty much our whole lives been in bowling. So.
May show up on a Saturday morning youth league time or two, maybe. Let them try it out. Will you have a two-handed? What do you think? Again, are you going to let them choose, or are you going to navigate that?
They'll choose, but my guess is by the time they would get to that age, they're in the youth demographic. There's probably going to be more than 50% of them thrown in two-handed.
Yeah. Girls too. I mean, we see it every tournament. We were talking about it early on because you really see it in the younger division. To your point, a lot of two-handed young ladies.
Yeah, and I mean, their biggest challenge is the speed. That is, in my opinion, why you haven't seen the escalation into the women's professional game as quick as the men's. Is just it just takes them a little longer to get the speed and the rev rate to match up.
Yeah.
Right, and so But it's coming. There's plenty of good ones out there. There's a few bowling this week.
Yeah.
You know, there's now
Well,
a few. Nora's now.
That's what I was
out on
gonna
tour
say.
from
These
Sweden.
you hear Nora a lot with these kids. They all idolize her, which is pretty fun.
And Nora, she's been bowling quite a while, not terribly long, but she was also a gymnast as a kid, so very flexible.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
very athletic, and so
Yeah.
I'm sure it was pretty easy for her to get the ball speed
Good
and the
point.
balance going down quicker.
Yeah. Right.
And that's really what it is as the two-handed game takes the next step in the youth movement, it's going to be about the stretching, the flexibility. I mean, it's like this in all other sports, right? You know, golf. I play a lot of golf.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, there is shorter, very skinny people that hit it a long ways.
Yeah.
And it's all speed and flexibility. And so it's going to continue to evolve and going to continue to get better. But that's why these are great, because you get to see it firsthand.
Yeah. So we have Sebi Vetter's dad. Sebi's bowling pretty good over there. It's like you might have one open, but pretty solid game. Steve said on two-handed, look out for string pin influence, though. What do you think?
Yeah. So I've been fortunate enough to be. I worked at USBC when all the testing was going on
Sure.
the certified strings, and so the pros. There's obviously been a lot of great feedback. I don't know. The words are hard to use. They call it truer. You have to get the ball motion.
That pocket or something,
Yeah.
like the truer pocket or, yeah.
I think, yes, some that are already developed are going to see the transition differently when they compete on strings. But the ones that are coming up on strings now, they might be better. Just because they're learning to get their ball to go through the pin. I don't want to say it's a pure way to get the ball to go through the pins, but it has to travel through the pins a little better.
Sure.
Because the head pin doesn't come off the wall and hit the 10, which is I don't want to call it a normal hit.
Right.
But it
is.
It's
Yeah.
almost an expected hit.
Yeah.
Once you start getting the right speed and rev rate, because you can throw the head pin off the wall and it comes over there a good majority of the time.
Right.
Doesn't happen with strings. So you got to figure out, how do I get my ball to go through the pins the right way to get the 10 out?
Yeah.
And so now if they're already learning at the level they're learning at, and they're going to start having to shape their ball through the pins a certain way, they might just keep getting better. And I think they're going to keep getting better.
Well, I think now he's not two-handed, but EJ Tackett is a great example. And Mike Sinek, who works a lot with our staff, the bigger staff, right?
Yep.
Not necessarily the national staff. He was giving them some behind-the-scenes insight over the year, because EJ, he was watching a lot of videos of EJ, and the way that EJ's ball is going through the pins is just different than it was before, and he was practicing a lot on string pins.
Yeah.
So I don't think it hurt. It doesn't hurt till ball motion is ball motion, right?
No, and it changes over even the machines you bowl on the free falls, you learn different things, right? AMF machines or Cubica machines, they generally have a good amount of sidewall bounce.
Sure.
Brunswick GSX machines, same way. Like I used to always say, you roll more 2 pins on a GSX machine, because when you hit it that light, the head pin just instantly slams off the wall.
Yeah.
But then you go bowl on an A2 machine,
Yeah.
and it seems like the flat gutters are 4 inches deeper, and you're flat tenning all the time. And so it's okay, I have to make my ball do this. And again, the rate that all these kids are learning at, it isn't going to be a challenge. It's just, call it the next little obstacle they have to navigate.
Well, and I think that, you just mentioned all the knowing the machine you're bowling on, right?
Yep.
Which I think you work with the players or have in the past, and there's definitely a process in place where you not only look at the bowling center that the pros bowled in, but the type of oil they bowled on, the pattern, the length, all of everything, right?
Yeah.
And I think over the years I've heard, like, I remember one year Darren Tang was not bowling well on a certain type of oil. And so he was working to get through this type of oil. Like, it's just another variable that you're trying to overcome, right? Oh, I'm bowling on string this week. This is how I have to bowl this week, right? I mean,
Yeah, the greatest thing about bowling is all the variables that are in play. You know, I always say there's only two constant variables in bowling. It is 60 feet from the foul line to the head pin, and the pins are on spot.
yeah,
Right?
yes,
And,
yeah, right,
And the pin is, you know, for lack of a better term, 39 inches wide.
right,
Those are the only constant variables.
Yeah.
Is the lane dimension and the pins. Everything else is bowler dependent.
yeah,
It's what you put on the lane, and then every shot you throw, it also affects it and changes it.
yeah,
And so, yeah, like when you go to these types of places and as you advance to the next levels, when we walk into like a PBA event, it's a center we haven't been at very much. It's almost like an interview with the general manager, the assistant manager, the mechanic. You know, we want every piece of information we have. Were all the lanes built at the same time?
Yeah.
Like you go to a lot of centers on the East Coast, they may have started as 32 lane centers, then they added 8 more, then they added 12
Yeah,
more.
totally.
And so it's like, okay, when were they built? When were the lanes installed?
Yep. Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a little bit of talk about topography here and there, and so all that stuff matters. And the cribbing that's under the lanes, you know, it's expensive to do. But places like South Point, when they replace the lanes, they replace the cribbing, so they're getting a complete overhaul. But that is not a cost-effective thing for every bowling center in America to do. So, you know, you're wanting to know, okay, what was in here before? If it's an original synthetic install, it's way different than if it was a wood center that's been converted to synthetics.
Yeah.
And so you're asking all these questions simply to have information, because you start to learn that every bowling center has characteristics. No different than a baseball field, right? You know, it's got a short porch in right type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
these
Golf courses you mentioned earlier, right?
Golf courses.
Those are they print out maps for the players.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And they've started to reduce that. They've removed some of the green reading maps to make the player have to read the green.
Oh, nice.
And they've limited the notes they can take.
Yeah.
But yardage books, I mean,
Yeah.
they know it's to the front of the green from this tree over here. And so that's all we're trying to do. But I say that what makes bowling great, all that stuff's invisible.
Yes.
All that stuff's invisible.
Yes.
Including the bowler has to feel the different variables that they impart on the ball. And there's a fine line between being hypercritical of that and just understanding its information, right? You know, I'm not one to, you know, I tell people all the time, they're like, I missed that a little at the bottom. I missed by, you know, they're like, I missed by a half board. It's like, hey, the tournament leader ain't being perfect every shot.
Right.
And so that's
finding the hole is what you're looking for.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that generally tells you is I might be throwing the wrong ball.
Yeah.
I might be throwing if you're having severe different results because of those little minute things, it means something larger
Bigger.
scale
Yeah.
is not, you're not doing at the proper level.
Well, I think, Steph mentioned this slightly earlier. We were talking about owning when you're throwing it bad.
Yep.
But also owning when you might need to make a ball change, right? And so, like, you have to be accountable for your own equipment, but then you also don't want to. I'm sorry. You own your own. The way you're throwing the ball, right? Because we were watching Trevor Mason earlier, and he threw a shot, and he missed a spare, which is unlike him, right? He's pretty good spare shooter. Gets up on lane 5. He misses it a little left, 4-9. What does he do? Ball change after that. And then he struck. And so it's like, but he had lost some pins going into it, where he probably didn't think that first shot was that far off, and then he missed a spare, so he's like, I'm just going to stick with this ball. But if he had made that ball change earlier, he probably would have been who knows what he would have done.
Correct.
So yeah.
Well, and even situations like that, because it can go the other way too. Is some of it's pattern dependent.
Yeah.
Right. On a shorter pattern, it's harder to just keep moving left.
Totally.
Especially with urethane
Yeah.
traffic. On a tour level, it's easier because they know they have to get around the urethane and get steep. Here, they're not that far
No.
yet.
Yeah.
And so
Some of them are,
Yeah.
but the rest of the field isn't.
Correct.
So to your point, so it's not
so,
you can't
so-
get there.
So moving to a part of the lane where nobody's at
yeah,
is a risk,
yeah, it is.
right? Where ball
Yeah.
change would be a lower percentage risk if you know your equipment, right? This
Yeah.
ball's just gonna be a little smoother, a little cleaner, whatever
right,
it is.
right.
And so you gotta do it. But yes, that is, you have to be self-accountable
Yeah,
for the way you're throwing it, but you also need to be fully aware of the other variables that are in play too.
well, and this is a great tip for parents because Steph and I were like, she was equating some of the conversations that she had with reps to how the kids are talking to their parents throughout the weekend, right? Not the same by any means, because you don't have to drive the players home at the end of the day.
Correct.
Which is probably good for you. But to that point, if a player that you're working with on the PBA tour comes off the lanes and they're like, I'm bowling bad, and you ask them, well, what's going on? And they're like, I don't know. You're like, okay, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't really. I
Yeah,
mean,
or it's
you're
like,
trying to work through it.
I'm
right?
going to dive in with a couple questions. Some of it depends on the player, what part of the tournament we're in.
Right.
Some people just get a little negative to get themselves going. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of psychology in it.
Yeah.
And I had a great conversation. I was talking to Jody Mann, who runs
Yeah.
the youth tour down in San Antonio earlier this morning. She had made a post on social media about she was excited to come here this weekend because most of the events are kid bowls in San Antonio. She's running.
Yeah.
So she's the tournament director. So she doesn't necessarily get to enjoy it as a parent, kind of help him.
Yeah.
It's a fine line for the tournament director to be helping.
For
So-
sure.
and-
Yeah.
But she also talked about him being independent. And I said, I thought it was a fabulous post because it's a great thing that we got to teach a lot of other parents
Yeah.
is you have to find a way for your kid to become independent when they're competing. Because if they're solely reliant on communication and how to move, I said, then their mind isn't processing all the information. They're just coming back for a A/B conversation
Right.
with answers and questions.
Right.
To where the more their mind can process what's going on, the more they're going to learn and be able to do it. And so, there's certain simple things when it comes to being a parent and working with these kids is, they're kids, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's start of it. They're young.
Right.
And so I simplify it to where when a kid is having success, he's not looking at mom and dad, or
Right,
she. They're
right,
not looking at mom
Right.
and dad.
They got it. They're
Well-
good.
well, they're looking at their peers,
True.
right?
Yeah.
They're looking at their peers.
Right.
But when things are off the rails, right?
Yeah.
And it could just be simply missing spares. It can
Yeah.
it can simply be, like you said,
Right.
balance.
Right.
Right? Well, they ain't looking at their peers. They're looking at mom and dad. And so if mom and dad are upset in the back,
Yep.
that negative energy, now everybody's got negative energy. And so,
Yeah.
again, I'm not one that's super over the top positive when I'm helping people. It's
Yeah.
like, but at the same time, you have to be able to absorb it because
Right.
you are their sounding board. And so,
Yeah.
the other thing is when you throw a bad shot, you can't run down the lane and get it. It's over. It's over.
Right. It's
you
true.
know.
You don't get a do-over.
Correct. And so you have to let it go, learn from it, and you have to focus on the next shot.
Well, and I'm sure you've done this over the years, but I do remember when we were in Reno, the first year we went there, Dr. Dean did a mental game seminar, and he did one for the parents. And the one thing that we have remembered all these years is he did this whole thing on what your face is doing as a parent.
Yep.
And because you might not even know, like you might not be conscious of, because when a kid throws a shot, when it hits the pins and when they turn around and look at you, it might be, 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
What did your face do in that 15 seconds, right? And being aware of that is so important because it's the first thing they see if they throw a bad shot.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say, your face ain't the first thing they see when that head pin goes off the wall and hits the 10 pin.
They're good.
They ain't looking at you, mom, dad.
Yeah, front 8,
Aunt,
they're
uncle.
like, I'm
No.
going to sit right down. I'm good.
Nope.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. And it's a tough one. That one is a really tough one. And you brought up the parents being psychologists, and we have parents ask all the time. We were joking because a couple parents came by. Turbo donated some stress balls to the SYC, and some parents were coming by like, "Can we take one of these?" And it's like, yeah, you need it too. Like it's stressful for both the parent and the youth bowler, and and just learning those things to talk about and the words that are what your kid needs to hear in certain moments. That's tough. It's all tough.
Well, and your son or daughter as a son or daughter.
Right.
Now you have to learn them as a competitor, and you have to process their skill level compared to others, right? Like that's a very challenging thing, right?
Yeah.
We experience this I'll say more so on the women's tour than the men's tour because we have boyfriends, husbands, a father. There's a lot more kind of, call it, hands-on with outside sources in the women's game than there are the men's.
Yeah.
And some of that's because there isn't a lot of individual women's play. Like when they bowl in college, they're just bowling for them, especially in the NCAA. They're only bowling NCAA college bowling.
Yeah, they don't bowl any.
But on the men's side, they get a dabble in everything. So there is some already individual development.
True. Yeah.
And the thing I always tell people, like, when I have the opportunity to work with someone or help somebody, I have no emotional skin in the game.
Right.
And so that's a variable that is not in play for me. But Blair, if you're helping your boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And things aren't going well.
Yeah.
Right?
Changes.
Well,
right.
you do have to ride home with that person, right?
True.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
and so you might not actually be able to say what needs to be said because there's other variables in play. And so it's why.
Hey, this year at the women's championships, right, which is the open championship for women, for anyone listening, I knew physically I was throwing the ball really bad. I was pulling it every shot. I could not stop. I didn't know why. It was just, and I'm bowling with Katie, who's here this weekend, and my buddy Mary and Leanne. So it's like I got people that are telling me what to do, right? It's not for lack of things. And my boyfriend's there too, watching. And at one point I told him, because he was trying to give me advice too, and then his buddy Sam, who's a pro shop operator, and everyone is giving me advice. And I literally looked at him and I was like, can you go find something else to do in this building? Because I'm like, I understand everything everyone is saying, but I just needed everyone to stop talking, and then I did fix it. Yeah. But it was it was information overload, and as the person bowling, I knew. I was like, okay, everyone, just leave me alone.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, like go do something else.
Yeah.
Got a little breakdown on line 5, it looks like. The other thing at Cityview Lanes, I want to bowl on 5 and 6 and leave some splits because these pins bounce down here. I've seen it all day.
It goes back to our machine conversation. Different machine types bounce different ways, and so you need to learn. Okay, should I need to try to bounce a pin out to make a split?
Right.
You're not necessarily trying to do it in a total pinfall event.
Sure.
But like when you're bowling match play and stuff, there's times, hey,
Yeah.
you need to
Might
make
as well try it. Yeah.
Well, and so pins bounce differently from different spots on different, do you need to shoot away from the ball return? Do you need to shoot at the ball return?
Yeah.
GSX is,
Is that what this is? This is
no, these are Cubica. I'm gonna guess 8270s.
Okay.
They're the older model, and so again, you can see the slant of the curtain in the back.
Yep.
And so it sits a little higher away from the ball returns, which is meant to help feed everything to the center. So depending on the depth, you would shoot both sides to find out where it, because the pin's going to hit the top of that little with the kickback.
Yeah.
And that's what ends up causing them to bounce out.
Huh.
But you will see it happen more on one side than the other. So you're trying to play the slope, where like Brunswick GSXs have that curtain.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
It almost deadens them.
Yeah.
But if you hit the pin dead on, the pin can actually get on top of the ball and then come back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But when you hit the pins to the side, now again, I'm being very, very hypercritical of how you have to hit the pin. You got to be that precise. So that's why it doesn't happen often.
Right.
But that's how you have to do it. Is you basically need to double kiss the pin on the GSX, because then the pin can get on top of the ball and come backwards.
Have you ever called it? This is just, you've been on a lot of TV shows, right? Have you ever been in a center all week and seen a split be left by a player and called it like, yeah, they're no problem, they're gonna pick that up?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
Generally not like 7-10s, big fours, but
sure.
4-9s. The 2-10, I would say. I'm sure the Lane Talk stats is probably a 2-10. It's probably only converted, I don't know, 20 or 30% of the time.
Right.
But it's just like, when somebody's hot, you're like, it's a spare. And in your mind, when you're competing against those people, you just always have to assume, they're a professional. They're going to make it. And so that way you're prepared for the outcome that's going to hurt you the most. But then when they don't make it and they just get the count, you're like, all right, let's move on, right?
Yeah. I love that. Okay, we got Gavin Fernandez over there, front four. Not a lot of other. I mean, we were talking earlier where about lane patterns and stuff and how it transitions. And one thing I'm really glad, when we started the SYC, I would still see parents or coaches back in the back with the original lane pattern talking to the kids like, well, this is where you should be bowling. And I don't see that as much anymore, which I love, because yes, the pattern characteristics are still there, but you can't really look at the sheet anymore and go, yeah, this is where you're playing, right?
Yeah, you got to let your ball tell you, right? Yeah, every player is different. And so, Elcio, who just bowled on lane 7, is going to play the lane's way different than Blake, who just bowled on lane 8, simply because of their game.
Totally.
So the pattern on a piece of paper is information, right? It's all information.
Right.
And that's, as things move, like you were talking about Darren Tank struggling on certain oils. The oils have different viscosities. They have different textures. The way they adhere to the lane or their movement on a lane is all things you have to learn as you start to get older. And so, like Darren, traditionally, I'm guessing this was when he was one-handed.
Yeah, it was.
And
yes.
so Darren traditionally got the ball into the lane very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So there's certain oils that we call it sticky when the oil it seems sticky, like it makes your ball slow down.
Yeah.
Well, Darren doesn't need the ball to slow down because he's getting it into the lane so fast.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, but like an ice, that it's pretty much just like the name of the oil.
Slippery.
It's slippery.
Yeah.
Right. And so, well, now his ball freely gets down the lane.
Right.
And so you learn those tendencies. But then there's the ball side, which is our side of things. Certain balls, certain cover stocks roll better on those oils. And so now that oil. I don't want to, they're still developing oils, and there's new oils and things like that. But the more and more we compete on these oils, the more and more information we have that, like, this type of cover stock performs better in this type of oil. And so we can somewhat pinpoint, and again,
like a combo, yeah.
Well, and again,
right.
until you see the ball go down the lane,
Yeah,
you still don't know.
It's not a science.
But it does allow us to potentially make better educated decisions just because you have more information. And that's all these things that the kids are looking for. Distance, volume, and oil type are really the three big. Ratio matters, but at the same time, we can make a 2-to-1 pattern pretty easy.
Sure.
And you can also make a 5-to-1 pattern very difficult.
Yeah.
And so the ratio, yes, somewhere there is a 5-to-1 ratio, but you can also have a flatter ratio in the body of the lane.
Yeah, and I was trying to see if we don't put on our patterns what oil the bowling center uses, because it is dependent on what oil they have.
Yeah.
But Josh was telling me he last year, the last time that the SYC came, I can't remember which oil he said he used, but it was not good for the patterns. And I think he did say he was using ice this time. I'll have to confirm that, but he chose that specifically because the short pattern was really, really tricky. Now, we have seen some higher scores this week. I do remember the short pattern being really hard the last time that they were here. So we'll have to get the type of oil that they're using and find that out. But to your point, if you're a SYC bowler, or even if you're going to Junior Gold or any of these tournaments, when you walk in, asking the bowling center, hey, what type of oil are you guys using this weekend? And if the person at the front desk doesn't know, just say, like, who could I ask? Or if you see people oiling the lanes, go up and say, hey, I'm bowling this weekend. Thanks for oiling the lanes. What oil are you using?
Yeah. Blair, there's even more tricks. When the lane guy is out on the lane and the machine's out there, generally there's an oil container somewhere.
100%.
Now,
you're right. Yeah.
At tournaments where they're not releasing that information, usually the logos, like the wrapping has been removed, but
for sure, yeah.
Just be observant, right? And the other thing too, pro shop, like, the person at the front desk may only work the front desk.
Yes.
They may not know anything about anything that goes on that past the foul line.
Most of the time, I would say.
And so the pro shop guy generally's got a good finger on the pulse because he's trying to help bowlers.
Right.
And so he usually would have an idea how long their house pattern is, what type of oil they're using, things like that. And so you can just,
Yeah, there's more reasons than buying a bowling ball to go in a pro shop.
my number one thing is when people ask me, well, how can I get better at doing these things? And it's be observant. Right?
Yeah.
Be observant. Why is this person having success? Why am I not having success? And then, but also being real, right?
That we were missing a 5-pin Slade.
I think I got it.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And so you just have to learn, like, and these people are.
He was looking for confirmation of the bowlers, and they're all in they're like, texting. Game 5. People are not always as observant as game 1.
Slade was missing a 5-pin on lane 5. We saw it. A couple of the parents saw it, but none of his fellow competitors saw it, so he wasn't
Speaking
quite
of being
sure
observant,
what to do. Correct.
Really.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, it's tough, but and you were talking earlier about the multiple tournaments, and that is the good thing, right? Like, here we are, game 5. I'll try to pull up some scores here too, so we can give an update. But you can go to lunch, you can reset everything, even if you had the worst block of your life this morning. Yeah. Come back and have the best block of your life in the afternoon.
yeah, it all starts over.
Right. So in U18 boys, we got Jackson Dias plus 140. He's
Okay.
gone 256, 158, 268, 258.
So I watched his 250 game one,
Okay.
and then I think I heard his dad or somebody talking about the rough game too. But
Yeah.
obviously he's got the train back on the tracks after that.
Yeah, minus that game, he has not been below 256. So, not bad. Gavin Fernandez is in second, plus 118, and Sebi Vetter, plus 97. Got, how many plus? We got a lot plus, all the way down to 23. Top 23 bowlers are in the plus.
Yeah, and I think that's just, you mentioned the short being a little harder here last year.
Yeah.
I think this year the picture was a little just easier. Like, I need to do this a little more. They were a little tighter. Generally when scores are low on short,
Yeah.
it's due to friction.
Yes.
There's just so much friction that, those little bit of misses up the lane, they split, or they go, they sometimes even miss a head pin left.
100%. Yeah.
And so, I think, I don't want to say the pattern was easier. I'm just saying it was just.
It's a clear picture. I
Yeah,
think you're
correct.
right. Yeah. On the U18 girls side, though, only the top 3 are plus. We got Jersey Gill plus 37, Anna Antony plus 36, and Bella Castillo plus 11. Then we dropped significantly, minus 50, minus 60, minus 70. So
Now this would tell me the short pattern needs rev rate. It's the
Right.
number one take, because the 3 people that are plus
have rev rate.
are more on the rev rate side.
Yes.
On the girls side.
Yeah.
And so, but the guys traditionally, when rev rate is an advantage, their scores are going to be higher. Just
Yeah.
they throw the pins around a little more. They just generate more power. And so, but seeing the girls' scores low, they probably have control of the pocket the same way.
They're just not getting carried.
Well,
yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
Their ball's
right.
burning up a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably flat 10 4-pin. Maybe.
We've seen some flat 10s
Yeah.
already today. Yeah, that's there. Yeah.
The
Look,
oth- the
all
oth-
you can learn from scores.
Yeah, the other thing too is you could see people missing the head pin to the right on some bad shots.
Yep.
Well, so on the girls' side, right? That could be 210, right? Because it's probably still trying to get there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So and then someone you mentioned earlier, U15 boys, Henry Mann leading the way, plus 123.
Yeah.
And then Abe Monosmith plus 121 right behind him. So that 5th game, I don't know where they're at, but they're chasing each other. Louis Cloud plus 76 and Tyler Anderson plus 17. Then we drop off a little bit too on this, but
Still good scores.
really good
Really
scores.
good scores.
Yeah. U15 girls, Leia Basefic is leading. Avery Bourne, Alyssa Randisi. And then U12 boys, Nolan Randisi up at the top. Caden, after his 289, came back with a 221, which is
Okay.
great because Steph was actually, we were hoping for him that he would, take a deep breath because he had started pretty rough today
Yeah.
and then went 289.
280 for the first 2, then was 280 game 3. 289.
Yeah, and we're like, sometimes what happens, not to be negative, you get that high, sometimes
yeah.
you go to a low, but he didn't, which is great. It's great to see that.
The other thing I think that signifies, obviously the main tournament's a long ways away from that point,
Yes.
but there's just no quit.
No. Yeah.
They give it their all, right? Anthony Simonson, in my opinion, is the best at this. Like, when he may not be having the best tournament, he may not be doing whatever. Obviously, he bowls great most of the time, but when he picks that bowling ball up and he steps on that approach, he gives it 100%, full committed, even if he's not scoring that well, right? And it's impressive. And so things like that, to be able to bowl 280 for 2 and
It's
then come down
amazing.
and bowl the front 10.
Yeah.
Right.
In the U12 boys.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, and that's something that in the car ride to lunch or the ride home at the end of the tournament or whatever, it's just where you say you use the low there as an educational point that led to the high, and then also the fact that he was able to continue to maintain. And who knows, he might have made a very good ball change. He might have
right.
made some
Or a
decision.
zone change. Yeah,
He
something.
might have had some new decision-making process that also led to that. So you just, especially, again, U12, right? U12. Learn,
So fun.
learn.
Yeah,
right?
that's all you can do.
All you're
Yeah.
doing is learning.
But I love when the kids do get their feet wet in tournaments like this in the U12. I mean, I tell parents all the time, they're like, well, how old should my kid be to bowl? And I'm like, there's not a perfect age to start an SYC. And we've had kids as young as 7 come out and bowl. But it's just readiness, right? It's individual.
I talked to Trevor. What's his last name?
Mason, yeah.
Trevor
Yeah.
Mason. Talked to his mother. I knew them.
Yeah.
Never really fully met them until this morning.
Yeah,
But Trevor bowled his first one at 7 years old.
right, exactly.
Trevor was about 2'4" when he bowled his first one, and
He was.
I told his mom today, I go, I think I saw him 8 months ago. He's a foot taller. Like,
Yeah.
and he's still 12. He
Right.
turns 13 next month. She told me. I'm like, and I feel like he's been around for a decade.
He has, I looked it up earlier because I keep forgetting how many he's at. He has 13 SYC titles,
Yeah.
and he'll be 13 next month.
Correct.
I mean, that's just amazing. Like, it's incredible, and it's like when Spencer Robarch was bowling these and Jillian Martin, you know, because we would get comments because it was still early, and so people would be like, the same 2 kids win every one. Well, you have Spencer and Jillian bowling in these tournaments, just like when Gianna the last few years was bowling these tournaments. Like, they bowl in different centers. They bowled on different patterns. It wasn't the same recipe every time, and they won. They just were the best bowlers that shoot up that weekend. Trevor's the same way. He's traveled all over. His mom they've driven hours upon end to get to an SYC.
Yeah, and it's just like other sports, right? There's elite, and people work hard to become elite. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of God-given talent in there as well.
Oh yeah.
But people work hard to become elite. It happens in soccer. It happens in baseball, softball, anything. Like it takes hard work, and so can people put in the work and they do it, and they're just sometimes there's dominant forces, but again, it's how do you handle that? And how do you
right.
If you come in here and a Jillian Martin when she was in the field, right? You might be in your mind thinking we're bowling for second, but what's wrong with that, right? Like, if that's how you have to motivate yourself to say, well, I'm going to win the other tournament,
right.
the one that she's not in, right?
That's right. I'll be the best.
Well,
yeah,
correct. But if you're the person right behind her, that means you're close. Like, and so at the end of the day, there's only one person that wins.
Yeah,
right.
Right. And Jillian, I mean, she's just miles above. She's won how many PWBA titles now?
3.
Right. So it's
3.
just
She's
like
still in college, by the way.
right.
She's not even a
full-time
touring player.
Right. So you just can't. To your point, there's a couple different tournaments going on in one tournament, and everyone's goals are different. And as long as you know what your individual goal is, at the end of the weekend, you have to look at that and know, I beat my personal best.
And then you how do I work to get to that next goal, right?
Right.
Some people get there faster, but don't mistake it from they might be bowling 7 days a week. They might be practicing 2 hours a day. No different than, somebody that becomes an elite pitcher, right?
Yeah.
But they just didn't start pitching at 14 years old. They've been doing it for a long, long time.
So Jillian is, just to use her as an example, when I don't remember how old she was. It was probably 15 or 16. and we were working SYC. We had a long breakdown. There was just something happened, mechanical, right? And it was on the live stream pair. So I happened to be watching this. And Jillian she was left with a 10-pin, right? And so she was leading the tournament. And this 10-pin she has a ball return issue or something. She's waiting. She comes off the approach. She starts doing jumping jacks. And I'm watching this in complete awe because no one told her to do that. Coaches, parents, she just knew, hey, I have to stay loose and warm and get out of my own head, and went up there and shot the 10-pin and got it. And I looked at, I don't remember who was sitting with me, but I looked at him and I went, this girl's different. Like, this is just different. Kids don't do that. So that's just one thing. Like, you'll see some kids, to your point of, are they practicing 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 5 days a week? Are they multi-sport athletes? Because we have a lot of kids out here that are still bowling and doing another sport. And then you have some that are just bowling. Yeah. So everyone's personal story is a little different.
Yeah, that's why I go back to the observant thing, right? They're going to learn from each other as much as they're going to learn from other entities. Yeah. And so, part of this relationship building out here as they develop these friendships and stuff, they're going to learn from one another.
Yeah.
And it might not even be just bowling, right?
Right.
There's two guys in front. They can be CEOs of companies in 20 years, right? And it could have all started right here. Yeah. Right? That they started working together and they started thinking about their careers.
Yeah.
It's not just about the game of bowling. It's on a much larger scale. But
and there's a youth player this weekend that, to your point, he is looking at colleges. And I had this conversation with his parents yesterday. I'm like, what schools is he looking at? And it almost was a defense mechanism that came out of their mouth next. They're like, well, he's not looking at bowling schools. And I'm like, that's okay. Like, I mean, because he's a good player. And they're like, yeah, he wants to go into sports management and business. And he just can't find a bowling school that matches that with a priority. And then his dad said, he might bowl some like PBA regionals on the weekend. I'm like, that is great.
It's just like bowling in SYC.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's just a different level.
Right.
Yeah. And so all the time, it's what these kids are thinking about school. They're like, do you have any opinion? I said, hey, it's not opinion of me or anybody. You've got to go to these places, and you got to do what feels right for you. Yeah. Whether it's on a personal level, whether it's on an education level. Yeah. Like if there's something you've dreamed of being, like if you've dreamt of becoming a doctor, right? There's schools that are better than others.
Yes.
To help you become a doctor.
100%.
And so there's your bucket, right? If bowling can be a part of it, great. Right. If not, you still find a way to stay active in bowling.
Right.
If bowling is a priority and you want to try to compete at the professional level, and that's one of your goals, then there's options for that.
Right.
But at the same time, don't lose sight of if bowling doesn't work, where do I want to be later on?
Well, and you've seen it. And college bowling, I love college bowling. I will always love college bowling. I'll tell kids, if you have the opportunity and the desire and the want to do college bowling, do it, right? But there's so many different levels to it. And college bowling does not necessarily guarantee that you'll be successful on the PBA tour. And it could be a stepping stone. Yeah. And the regionals are a stepping stone too, but there's not a direct path. And someone like that wants to go to medical school or be a lawyer or something and stays active in the sport. You work with players on the PBA 50 tour that had their whole career, were incredibly successful, and then they're like, all right, now I'm going to go out and bowl. Right? Oh, yeah. And it's great, and they have a great time. It's like their retirement party.
Correct. There's tons of examples like that, to where, it's like a traveling fraternity is what I call the PBA 50
awesome.
tour. Now, there's a few women out there. Jeannie's out there. Liz is out there. So it's hard to call it a fraternity, but
Yeah.
that's what I.
Right. Well, they do. They have
Yeah.
parties. They have cookouts. They have like.
Yeah, they got the motorhome group where they're all barbecuing and they're bowling their squad for the day. Then there's a group of 12 that's heading to the golf course for a tea time. I mean, and these are people that were fierce competitors against one another when they were
100%,
younger.
Right.
And now
They're all buds.
they're all
Yeah.
buds, right?
Yeah,
And again, if there was a boatload more money out there,
Sure.
it might be a little different.
Sure.
But they're still doing it because they can still earn a living, but they can also, still now they're enjoying the time
Yeah.
with those people. Because the person sitting next to you, whether call it just use Norm and Pete for example, right? Very very special people
Yes.
in the game of bowling and professional bowling, and so while they may not have, ran together when they bowled on
Right.
tour, but there's a respect for one another
100%.
that's there, and then as your playing career starts to go down, there's a friendship that develops a
Yeah,
little bit,
right.
and so it's the same way here.
Yeah.
These friendships are developing. There will be times when
Yeah.
they're separated through competition, but at the end of the day, hopefully you can come back together and have those
Yeah.
friendships again.
And you're split up in age groups for a reason, right? Like you're connecting with people in your own age group, and you'll see them throughout your whole career, of whatever your career is, whether it's a recreational type of bowling career or a professional type.
That's my favorite thing about these tournaments. Peer-to-peer competition, scratch.
Yeah.
Because if you want, again, I said it earlier, there's always going to be elite people in everything.
Yeah.
And so if that's the level you want to get to, you've got to work to get there.
Yeah.
And so I'm not opposed to handicap in the league setting and things like that.
Sure.
I get it. It's a
Yeah.
social exercise.
Right.
It's a social activity.
Yeah.
But it's great because scratch makes you want to achieve more. You have to work to get better to knock down more pin.
There's no Band-Aid of sorts.
Correct.
You got to be the best.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, we are wrapping up here. Thanks for hanging out with us, giving us some insight into how things work out on the national tour.
Yeah.
Good luck. We're all wishing you good luck. You and your wife are expecting
Yes,
any day now, it seems like.
Yeah, it could be any day.
Yeah.
December 9th is the target date, but it's probably going to happen a little before that.
That's exciting. So we'll all be wishing you well. And for those watching, we will be back for 5 more games on the medium pattern this afternoon. It starts at 2:30. So if you are waiting for the stream, that's what time we'll be back. And we'll see you all later.
You've been watching the 2025 SYC Texas. The SYC Texas would not be possible without the generous donations from our sponsors: Storm Bowling, Platinum Ford, Coolwick, PBA Junior, KEGEL, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Shoes, Ray's Eyewear, Ballard's Bowling Academy, Master Industries, Quality Respite and Home Care, and by TD Transportation. Special thanks to the official scoring system of the Storm Youth Championships, Bowlmetrics. The preceding was produced exclusively by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events and more, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thanks for watching.